United States diplomats don't discover, unveil the shocking plan we see the United States gets for Nigerian general election for 2027, including as they will monitor the election, on the need for them to monitor the election. In fact, quoting him, he talks, say, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't fail. Say the administration don't fail. And then people are now wondering that, okay, so if the administration fails and so what, Nigerians have the right to still vote who they want to lead them. But he further says that he believes, or they believe, that Peter Obi is the right leader for Nigeria. And then he went ahead to speak on Peter Obi's, intolerance for corruption and waiting in do when he be governor, and the fact that he left money as a governor. People are saying, what is going on? But that's not even all, because remember the judge where BC for Kogi State where they say he give orders, say made in the register ADC, right? NDC, right? That is Peter Obi's party. Well, he's come to wash his hands off like Pontius Pilate, because the Kogi High Court don't say they're not ever talk anything like that to say made in the register NDC, that there was no time they had they gave such a judgment. And people started saying, excuse me. So people will be get that interpretation before. Where did it come from? Well, all of these and more issues now we will discuss this evening. Welcome to Updates with Precious. Another beautiful day to bring you political updates of all the things that they share for inside our country, Nigeria. It's always a delight to be with you every evening to bring on an update of all the things that they share for inside our country. And in a Precious A. And as usual, we will dig into some of the things in way they trend for our dailies, and then we'll go straight to other conversation the way we get for granted. So let's begin with that story. As it take be, Kogi High Court denies issuing order deregistering NDC. Kogi High Court denies issuing order deregistering NDC. And it has a rider. The court noted that it would ordinarily not have responded to the publication, but deemed it necessary to set the records straight. Oh, wow. Make I read them for you, small, more kind of official very quickly before we get into the other ones, the way they happen. So the High Court in Kogi has dismissed as false and misleading a social media report alleging that it ordered a deregistration of National Democratic Congress, NDC, where Peter belongs to. In fact, you know what? I don't forget I'm supposed to drink water. Let me go take a little drink of water, and they come back. When I come back, we'll dive straight into the conversation. Stay with us. Yes, so welcome back. And it is still updated, Precious, beautiful day to bring an update. So let's get straight into that conversation about the Kogi State judgment. So for inside a statement issued by the court's chief information officer, Sadib Said, yesterday, Thursday, for inside Lokoja, the state will be the state capital of Kogi State, of course. Now, they say it's either handled nor determined any case relating to the registration or deregistration of the party or any other political party in that matter. In case you don't understand, they say, wait a minute. We not ever handle any matter we get to do with either registration or the registration of NDC in any way. So why people they talk so we submit in the register NDC? We'll not talk anything like that. Now, it's noted that the misleading publication was accompanied by photographs of the chief judge of Kogi, Joash Majabi, and former governor Yahaya Bello. Now, it said the photograph created what it described as mischievous impression that the purported decision emanated from the High Court. So, the court noted that it would ordinarily not have responded to the publication, but deemed it necessary to set the record straight. Now, it added that the report had the potential to undermine the integrity of and the dignity of the judiciary in Nigeria. So it urged members of the public, particularly content creators, to verify facts before publishing information capable of misleading the public. So this High Court now, they told say they no ever give such an order. Then what order did they give? Let's go ahead. So the court warns that this disseminating false information capable of tarnishing the image of judges and the courts of justice or the courts under the administrative control would no longer be tolerated. So it therefore urged the public to disregard any publication reaffirming its commitment to dispensing justice fairly, diligently, and without fear of favor, it said. So the clarification comes weeks after Justice Issa Dashin of the Kogi High Court in Lokoja reportedly reversed the earlier ruling deregistering the NDC. Now, Dr. Dashin had all relevant parties must be heard before the substantive decision can be made in that matter. So the court upheld the application filed by the Peace Movement Party, PNP, who we'll talk to you about on the matter. So this matter, they're like saying a different matter entirely, but we'll get back to that matter as time goes. But let's just jump in onto other issues very, very quickly. So moving on to other issues than we be seeing inside the news this evening very quickly. Okay, let's see what we have here. So court strikes out suit seeking recognition of Turaki-led national leadership. So that is Turaki no be leader of inside PDP anymore. Remember, see the Supreme Court judgments where them being come out 1 month when talk say, oh, the Supreme Court judgment means that the Wike team supposed back down. Now the Turaki team don't go now. Court doctors say, you know what, don't strike and come out to no data matter. So Wike and be the authentic person now, right now. Now we see people they talk. ADC aspirant drags party to court over alleged exclusion from primary election. Yeah. So not only for one party, this primary thing that everybody now affect. Kanu Consumer Protection Council seizes counterfeit goods worth over 300 million naira. Nigerian government arraigned 3 over kidnap of Oyo school children and teachers. And then moving on, 2027 Governor Yusuf meets NDC Senator Hanks in Abuja. And let's see, 2027 Kebbi government raises alarm over alleged fake news campaign. And then we endorsed Tinubu Abga. Why we endorsed Tinubu Abga? They talked that one, explaining why be say then they endorsed Tinubu. And then on 2026 we will win governorship election. Accord they insist saying that them go win the election. That election go tough. Well, people they look out for what's going to happen there. And then Mary Habila, police spokesman, urges restraints once again spread of unverified allegations. And then as the young lady, Papa, they come out, come to say, I'm gonna give me my became body. I no one do any autopsy. I'm gonna leave her. We need to do autopsy. All right. I'm saddened Peter B. Mont's death of Amechi's mother. And Taraba head of civil service urges casual workers to apply for recruitment exercise. Headsman sent me a threatening letter, vow to eliminate me. Reverend Dachomo. This man don't shout this shot now. No go hear in voice. Next thing I'll go say, oh, sorry, they killed him, and they'll say it's not Christian genocide. Please, oh, authorities should pay attention. That now waiting a lot of people they ask for concerning this alarm way BC raised. Troops rescue 9 kidnapped victims, recover 56 Katsina State. Let's move on to other issues very quickly. Mary Habila's family petitions IGP, demands release of body for burial. FG renames Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway after Tinubu, in case you don't understand. It is no longer going to be Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway. It will now be Bola Ahmed Tinubu's highway. Make I even go get to the story, make it see am. May not say I may read them. So the federal government has renamed the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway in honor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying the landmark infrastructure project was inspired by a vision he conceived while serving as governor of Lagos State nearly 3 decades ago. So Minister of Works Dave Umahi announced the decision today, Thursday, during a media briefing in Abuja, describing the renaming as recognition of Tinubu's role in initiating the idea behind the 750-kilometer highway. So he said the highway is named President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Coastal Highway. That's what Mahi talk. Make I end them there. So the new name of the highway now is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Coastal Highway. Thank you for joining us, everyone. So in case it's your first time of joining us, please click on the subscription button and also like and share this post, please. Please like and share. Click on the subscription button, like and share. As you're joining, please ensure you like and share. Moving on to Other issues, very quickly, we did for Inside the News. Don't be shocked that it had to be renamed. Well, a lot of this one don't raise a lot of controversy. People they talk say, how do you name a property after you when you're in government? And property will be say you use taxpayers' money do. You didn't name them after you. Well, not be him name them, and the minister name them after him. So you push leave our president alone. Benue Chief Judge warns magistrates against corruption. NRC bus seeks stronger security collaboration with police, demands tougher penalties for vandals via rail lights. And then Liberia, let's leave it. 2027 polls, NNPP raises concerns about potential misuse of state police. Shetima urges LG chairman on driving nutrition across the 774 grassroots local government areas. And then let's see, NUPRC urges new license holders to support Nigeria's 20 MBPD, that is 22 million barrel per day oil production target. And 2027, Wike declares Abuja short for opposition, dares them to fault Tinubu's project. Okay, now NNPP's honor once against abuse of state police. Okay, let's just leave that and move on to other issues very quickly. We could see other things ABC Day Inside the News very sharply. All right. There's exclusive by Premium Times that 36 students still missing after Borno school attack. 36 students still missing after the Borno school attack, and this is really very disheartening to hear news like this, you know. But let's move on. Nigerian government charges 3 men with terrorism over Oyo school children and teachers' abduction. And then Supreme Court affirms final for future of mansions, land, $2 million share certificates linked to Godwin Emefiele, your former central bank governor. Senate rejects motion to review contract award process in National Assembly. The contract award process is like that. They reject the motion. So leave it like that for us. We like it like that. Nigerians want cheaper petrol, but renewed Hormuz battle won't make it happen. Now, waiting a say, then they talk there. But let's move on to other papers quickly. Nigeria Benin busts breast smugglers in first intelligence-led border operation. Let's see. Court strikes out Amaechi's suit against Atiku over ADC presidential tickets. How can that to still be existing when he's already the VP? Oh, please. Investing in children strengthens Nigeria's future. UNICEF, now they talk this one. And then let's see what we have here again. Moving on to other papers very quickly. Now, moving on to other issues we see the Inside the News. We looked clean when we were released because kidnappers started washing our clothes when we began to smell. Oh, wow. The Oyo teacher wouldn't free. Now she they talk and say, what to make them look clean? Say the kidnappers carry their hand, they wash their own clothes when they say they're very dirty. You know, people started comparing how they looked versus how the Ekiti State people will be saying they kidnap look. They say now because of say kidnappers started washing our clothes. Now, Zachary Olatunde, one of the teachers, Naindi talked this on her. So she explained, she said the terrorists occasionally washed the captives' clothes once they began to smell, dismissing claims on social media that the appearance suggests the abduction had been staged. Okay, let's move on. Terrorists kill 5 security operatives, 2 residents in fresh Zamfara attack. This is very sad. Very, very sad. I just look forward to a day where we will come here, we will not go hear about the death of someone. Meanwhile, 150 days in detention threatens rule of law. El-Rufai's wife reports Tinubu's government to international community over political persecution of husband. Say, I don't know, I will keep my husband for 150 days. What did he do? Abia secures $145 million investment for solar manufacturing plants. And then budget falls renaming of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway after Tinubu says public roads belongs to Nigerians and not those in power. So why go rename them? So, okay. Obedient Movement directs supporters to mark P2B's 65th birthday through service to the needy instead of celebration. And then another Tinubu's government budget padding exposed as 2026 budget shows Abuja-based agency that resolves workplace disputes to spend 2.8 billion naira on solar street lights. 2.8 billion naira. 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 street light installation in Ile-Ife, Osun State. But meanwhile, suppose they resolve other matters. Now, waiting be in a court jurisdiction or problem. Now, Supreme Court, I told you what they already did, forfeited, and they killed 9 of my relatives. Now they say I'm next. Plateau cleric Dachomo reveals threats or death threats from suspected terrorists. Okay, and then if Mary Habila had died in Peter Obi's house or that of anyone close to him, hell would have broken loose. Justice Crack and other Nigerians, of course, begin to make statements concerning that issue. No law permits handing over keys to unsolicited mansions to judges. Falono condemns Tinubu's government and the housing policies for judges. In fact, in talk say they illegal, and in talk say then go challenge government. And if by that too, that means every Nigerian we need house, including lecturers when no get house, they should be given place to stay. They should be given place to stay. Now, after lending $250 million US to World Bank in 1974, Nigeria now runs a smaller countries or runs to smaller countries to borrow them money. And this was highlight of, I think, the morning show today on Arise Television. It's quite an interesting listen. You should go and watch it. And quite a great relief. Okay, we will not be silenced. Peter Obi's supporters, Peter Aka, Mama Peace, say Tinubu's government won't intimidate them after second EFCC interrogation over alleged Naira abuse. Okay, that's about it. Let's see if we can get more stories in these other papers very quickly. Anambra Police Command launches manhunt for teacher who allegedly flogged 12-year-old boy to death. 3 persons dead as heavy rain windstorm in Yobe destroyed houses. And then Anambra Varsity suspends Anglican priest over alleged sexual misconduct, launches probe. And then ex-governor El-Rufai's wife appeals. I told you what she did already. A UK acquittal does not clear ex-minister Diazani of wider corruption allegations. Civil societies demand fresh probe in Nigeria. And then Nigerian army rescues 9 kidnapped victims, arrest suspected terrorists. NLC Electricity Workers Union fire back at ex-PHCN manager over claims Ajeru betrayed 47,000 workers. And let's see what we have here again. Anambra Court jails native doctor Onyezi Jesus 6 years, imposes 20 million naira fine over fraudulent spiritual practice. Tinubu signs executive order on virtual assets, establishes council to coordinate regulations. That's great. Okay, Supreme Court restores final for features of Emefiele. I told you that already. Let's see what we have here. Bandits kill Kebbi local government personal director, abduct wife teacher in night raid. Wow. Businessman. Okay, let's see. ADC asks National Assembly to determine Tinubu's fitness for office over alleged loss of control. Okay, all right. So all of these and more issues that we get for Inside the News. And joining us for Inside the Studio, now Prince Francis Chilaka. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening, sir, and welcome. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Precious. How are you?
This one that you covered your eye this night. I hope all is well, sir.
I'm becoming an American FBI.
Hey, what's happened?
No, they look. We want to look and see everything. Anyhow, I want to do. We want to look and make we see them. Koro.
Okay, so it's the meta glasses you're wearing.
The glasses see past everything. They see the two way they're supposed to.
All right, so Prince Francis Chilaka, let me start with our lead story today before we go to other stories. So, former U.S. diplomat and retired U.S. Army Colonel that is Col Abert Schott, that's his name. He says the TINUBU administration has failed and argues that the United States should play a role in ensuring Nigeria's 2027 elections are free, fair, and credible. And he said this with a Noire TV network this week. Now he says Noire TV network US. Now he says US leaders will be closely watching the 2027 elections to help safeguard the integrity of the why integrity they always do me to call integrity. Okay, to help safeguard the integrity of the democratic process. Albert Schott also declares that he believes Peter Obi is the right leader for Nigeria, saying one man can make the difference, and that man is Peter Obi. Quoting him, he further reveals plans to advocate for stronger U.S. action and legislation to help combat the waves of killings and kidnappings across Nigeria. And this is such an explosive conversation. I mean, you can go watch it on their YouTube, Noire TV network on YouTube and other places. The full video should be there. However, let me play you excerpt of that conversation. Take a listen.
Recently, we just had an interview with Riley Moore on the Hill, and he stated that the U.S. will be paying attention to the Nigerian elections. Do you think that the U.S. should actually interfere in the affairs of Nigeria, and or not? And if so, why? And currently on the elections that are going on, what do you think the state of the nation is?
We're not interfering. Cognizance, as he pointed out, being aware of what's happening in the world, for good or bad, is important. With specific reference to the congressional legislation, I think it's an excellent first step. But it's just that. It's just a first step. There has to be a pattern between now and January, when you have your presidential election, where the U.S. stands up and speaks for a fair and balanced election with oversight. That didn't happen in the last election. We can dispute the outcome, but it didn't happen.
Hear what he said. First of all, after saying that there is a need for that free, fair election, he said that didn't happen in the last election and that we could dispute that. I just thought to, note those. Go ahead.
Outcome, but it didn't happen. And there were observers there. It would be very helpful if the president were to weigh in. I don't have that little button that I can push, but that would be a very helpful outcome.
Are you suggesting that President Trump should weigh in?
Absolutely. He has in many other cases. I think we have two examples within the last month in Peru and Colombia where elections have been held. They've been fair and open, and the results stand for themselves. So this is an opportunity where the U.S., we're not nation building. That's not what we're into. We're simply into, maybe I'll call it human rights, but it's doing the right thing. And it costs us nothing. Maybe it's the intellectual high ground that we should be on in terms of elections worldwide.
My question is, can each of you maybe opine on why you think that is? Why is there all of a sudden more of a caring that's coming from Donald Trump and this entire administration? And also, when you were speaking to how involved that this administration really should get, is this a truly now or never situation? Is this something where, because you have someone that is showing a true care and a true concern for having a fair and free election and for trying to stop persecution of Christians that clearly has been escalating, right, in both frequency and brutality, is this now the time where we really must see a change, or it may never happen for Nigeria?
It's a failure of leadership. You talk about, a leader is judged on results. In military, we spend our entire career, studying leadership and so forth. Good leaders, bad leaders. And it's a question, does the man make the times or the times make the man? The times are dire, and you have the man, and that's Peter Obi. He's a proven executive. But most importantly, he has the moral and spiritual compass that it takes to lead. It's tough.
I don't know whether you heard what he said there. He said the times are there and the time for us to act are now. And that's and they get somebody with
changing. They're unwilling to protect their own citizens.
Say you get the spiritual and moral compass. I don't know whether you heard that, but let me continue, please.
Changing. They're unwilling to protect their own citizens. They're unable to protect their own citizens. Can someone else please?
You have to solve your own problems in your own cultural.
Are there like I said, those political opponents in Peter Obi? Are there other civil societies that you guys have endorsed that I've seen, right? That you're saying maybe there needs to be a civil uprising like there was, you mentioned, when Abraham Lincoln was elected. That was a time of extreme civil uprising, the most extreme that you could possibly be. And I think maybe that's a reason why he was elected, because that mandated a free and fair election. Are those prayers being secretly made for someone to come in and make that assertion to make the change occur?
You have to solve your own problems in your own cultural context. Nation building is out of vogue. We have the Iraqi example and the Afghan example and so forth. I think you need to look to the president's national security strategy document. I think it's a very balanced look at our role in the world and what we can do and can't do. And we can be helpful, and we've talked about, statements and so forth. We can assist in various ways. Problems such as in Nigeria have to be solved by the Nigerian population. And again, the solution that works in the U.S., the solution that works in Singapore or in the EU doesn't necessarily work in Nigeria. There's a cultural context in every country in the body politic that has to work. And the leadership has to be local. We can assist. We can make good statements in support of good governance and elections. We can, good example, military cooperation recently in Borno State. There was an attack on an ISIS element, very effectively done. There was some level of U.S.-Nigerian cooperation at the military intelligence level. That's an incident. That's not game-changing. Our role, I think, as the president and this administration views it, is supporting good governance and also supporting our interests. Our interests are a peaceful, prosperous Nigeria. Nigeria is the gorilla of West Africa. Look at the map. Gulf of Guinea, you're sitting there. You've got oil, you've got arable land, you've got a large population.
I'm sorry, I think I have to take that back. I think
you've got all the tough sinews. It's tough. You've got to push some things around. You've got to change some things.
Are you saying that other candidates are not
qualified?
Have you looked at the
I'm a results guy.
So what are you basing this metrics on Mr. Obi?
Look at his track record. He was a successful governor. He took no salary. He left money in the treasury. He increased health, welfare, education, roads, the things that a serving public servant is supposed to do for his people. He did it. He's also an accomplished executive. He's made payrolls. He's just not another politician.
There have been people that have said that the current president did a lot in Lagos and was able to build Lagos to the state where it is at this point.
Let's get back to leadership. Failure. The first requirement of any leader is secure your borders and make a peaceful country for your people to live in. That's the basis. Pretty simple to state it, difficult to do it. They have failed. The present administration has simply failed to do that. And as you pointed out, it started with the insurgency in Borno State and so forth. Now it's countrywide. It's open season, kidnapping, so-called bandits. And it's as if the government is paralyzed. And if you're the leader, there's a military saying you are responsible for everything your troops do or fail to do.
So you're saying one man can make a difference?
That's my point. I'm a leadership guy. I see in Obi that rare combination of personality, spiritual focus, drive. It takes a lot of effort and failure. I sent you a thing on last night because we've talked about leadership a lot and how many leaders fail until they finally succeed. Abraham Lincoln failed at everything. Business, a number of elections, he And then all of a sudden he became president and one of our greatest presidents. So it's that internal focus, compass, whatever you want to call it. And I think Obi's got it. The time is perilous. And politics, you never say never. It's maybe not the end, but things have gotten on every metric gotten worse over the last decade. The economy, you're talking about food security, you're talking about corruption, you talk about just about any metric in Nigeria is negative over the last decade. So if you're the boss, you're responsible.
Is there somewhere in Nigeria, be it these political opponents and Peter Obi even, where, you know, they were even recently delisted from the party to even be able to be elected, right? So there's a serious, deep problem there. Is there somewhere that honestly people are praying for either U.S. or other international intervention that comes in and says, listen, changing, they're unwilling to protect their own citizens, they're unable to protect their own citizens. Can someone else please help us? Can someone else please come in and really affect this change? Are there, you know, like I said, those political opponents in Peter Obi, are there other civil societies that you guys have endorsed that I've seen, right? That you're saying maybe there needs to be a civil uprising like there was, you mentioned, when Abraham Lincoln was elected. That was a time of extreme civil uprising, the most extreme that you could possibly be. And I think maybe that's a reason why he was elected, because that mandated a free and fair election. Is, you know, are those prayers being secretly made for someone to come in and make that assertion to make the change occur?
You have to solve your own problems in your own cultural context. Nation building is out of vogue. We have the Iraqi example and the Afghan example and so forth. I think you need to look to the president's national security strategy document. I think it's a very balanced look at our role in the world and what we can do and can't do. And we can be helpful. And we've talked about, you know, statements and so forth. We can assist in various ways. Problems such as in Nigeria have to be solved by the Nigerian population. And again, the solution that works in the U.S., the solution that works in Singapore or in the EU doesn't necessarily work in Nigeria. There's a cultural context in every country in the body politic that has to work. And the leadership has to be local. We can assist. We can make good statements in support of good governance and elections. We can, good example, military cooperation recently in Borno State. There was an attack on an ISIS element, very effectively done. There was some level of U.S. Nigerian cooperation at the military intelligence level. You know, that's an incident. That's not game changing. Our role, I think, as the president and this administration views it, is supporting good governance and also supporting our interests. Our interests are a peaceful, prosperous Nigeria. Nigeria is the gorilla of West Africa. Look at the map. Gulf of Guinea, you're sitting there. You've got oil, you've got arable land, you've got a large population, well-educated. You've got all the sinews for greatness. You just need to have the leadership, and that leader has to have the will to make it happen and surround himself with people who are like-minded, who can make a change. And it's always a question, you know, can one man make the difference? In my view, the answer is definitely yes.
Can you chime in on that answer?
Can be for good or bad. You can have a bad outcome, but in this case, the outcome would be good. The present government has failed on all aspects, and previous governments have to.
Well, he said quite a lot of other stuff. By the way, I took that cut off their social media handles. So you can, if you want the full interview, you can go to Noire TV to watch the full interview because I can't play all of that. But I just thought to pick out that excerpt that they're publishing on their social media. And there you have it, the takes of former U.S. diplomat and retired U.S. Army Colonel Albert Short. Albert Short, that's his name, but they call him Al for short. He's a geopolitical risk specialist. And you just heard his take on Nigeria's election. Prince Francis Chilakasa, you hear in very last words, them the last things that we talk about leadership failure for inside Nigeria and how Nigeria depositioned for Africa and how if Nigeria gets them right for Africa because of the vast oil wealth where we get and the vast arable land where we get, Africa would have gotten it right. And that if leadership go fit, if we get the right leadership, we go fit achieve them. That leadership can make a lot of difference either ways, either good or bad. Let's begin with that because I have a lot of questions to ask. First of all, how dare an American even have such an input in our democracy? What's it concern them? We make them come begin even voice out person where they think where they're more capable. Is it their business? What happens to our politics? Why will when Nigerians come and tell them what to do in America? Are we going to threaten them that, oh, we'll support this person or that person? How dare they try to interfere in our sovereignty?
I didn't get the flow of that your question. How would you say how dare they?
Yes.
Calm down now.
Okay, sir.
The election of Donald Trump, didn't you see Nigerians sowing Ashebi for Donald Trump?
But that did not make any difference.
No, you're not asking my question. You saw Nigerians. The world is a global village. That's the message. So it doesn't matter whether you're in America, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're from South Africa. The point is that because it's become a global village, everybody wants to look out for the other person. Everybody wants to ensure that there's good governance. There's security of lives and property. There's employment. There's reduction in poverty. There's
so why
reduction
are you
in
hammering
hunger.
on Nigeria getting it right in leadership? Like we've never gotten it right in leadership. Would you say that US has gotten it right in leadership? What's be their business with us and our leadership? Their own leadership, they're perfect.
Well, whether we like it or not, Nigerians, just like yourself, where you're always very emotional when it comes to Nigeria. And when it comes to your leadership. When it comes to your leadership, and Nigerians get very emotional. Nigerians fail to look at the reality of what stares them in the face. Everybody just pretend. This attitude of, let him, Shebi is ordinary 8 years. Let him do 8 years and go. Is he the first person to embezzle money? Is he the best person to be called a thief? Is it the best? We just keep making excuses for our leaders. And because we make these excuses, they take us for granted. They trample on us, they spat on us, they do all manner of things because they know that the Nigerian people will not react. That the Nigerian people are so docile. Nigerians know the truth. When you bring out all those who are contesting elections, those who contested in 2023, those who are about to contest in 2027 as presidential candidates, Nigerians know the truth of every one of them.
And what is that truth, sir?
Nigerians they know the truth of those who have clean records and those who do not have clean records. But because of love for religion, for ethnicity, for tribalism, for nepotism, we close our eyes to the good ones and embrace the corrupt ones who would give us whatever we need at that time. So it's as simple as ABCD. And if you listen to that man, he tells you, even though in Nigeria, Nigerians will tell you, Peter Obi did not do this. Peter Obi did not do this in Anambra. But then you see somebody out of the shores of Nigeria telling you, this is what this man did. In other words, we go back to the scriptures. it says a prophet is not recognized in his own place. And that's the truth.
So let's look at some of the things. Okay.
Whether America will get involved in Nigerian politics, they have always gotten involved. Yes, not only America, China, United Kingdom, France, they've always gotten involved because at the end of the day, these countries have somebody they prefer to rule you. They will not come out openly to support the person. Clandestinely, they are supporting a candidate. Because for them also, it is business. The business in the sense that they have investments in Nigeria. They have their citizens in Nigeria that need to be protected. They have their investments that need to yield money for them. So they would always want to have somebody they know they can also manipulate. You saw the battle between America and the late Libyan president, Muammar Gaddafi. So the moment they know, it's not that they don't know. It's not that they are blinded to it. No, they know what they're doing.
All right, so let's take into account some of the things he said. Let me start from the beginning. He said something about the need for a free, fair, and credible election. He emphasized on that and said that did not happen in our last election. What does he mean by that?
Precious, what do you mean? What does he mean by that? Nigerians of all tribe and religion have said that the 2023 election was far from it. It was an election that was highly rigged, election that had glitches that nobody has explained, election that people were...
But the courts have judged differently. That's what people would say.
Election that people were denied the right to exercise their rights, election that 18, 20 million Nigerians would vote, and only 4 or 5 judges will sit down to decide for you. It's not an election.
But people will tell you that this whole thing was litigated to the
it is not about litigation. You see, let me tell you, there's a very big flaw in the electoral process. But I don't understand why most of the people we have in the Senate and the House of Rep, they keep closing their eyes. Maybe because they're all beneficiaries. This idea of having presidential election first should end. If we want to get it right, let us start from the state, the governors, state house of assembly, down to the National Assembly, and then to the presidency. You will see things will change. But because you have your presidential election first, and the moment somebody is declared as a winner, people now begin to align towards who the president will be. In actual sense, the presidential election should be the last election.
Okay, let's go back to...
If you have it as the last election, it helps people to choose their own leaders that they want. So by the time you're doing presidential election, it means that people will exercise their rights to the fullest. And then at that point in time, it becomes difficult for anybody, to move around or not to move around.
All right. So, but is that enough reason for him to have cited countries like Peru and Colombia elections and saying that Trump should intervene by doing the right thing? Again, I repeat.
We're not only asking for Trump to intervene. What we're saying is that the international community should persuade your current president and the National Electoral INEC to do the right thing. We need to have credible and reliable election in Nigeria. That is the only way this country can develop. Because if you have a credible election, I'm telling you, Precious, sovereignty will come back to the people. And the politicians will now realize that, it is the people that put us there, and the people can actually take us out. You look at the kind of laws you have. It's for you to recall a senator, you will start looking for signatures of even people that have gone to the grave. Is that how it should work? We should have a similar situation where To recall somebody will not be like passing through the eye of a needle. So until we have those situations where you can be recalled as a senator, recalled as a honorable member, until we have these things in place, the country will continue to be driven as power belonging to the political class and not to the people.
Well, again, I would like to say, is there enough reason for him to say that failure of leadership is as a leader is judged based on results? What results does President Bola Ahmed Tinubu not have that would make him
Well,
say
I don't know. The result I've seen so far with this administration is a result of naming everything after Mr. President. That is the result. The result of
what has been named after
hunger and starvation staring Nigerians in their faces. Result of overtaxation. I went to yesterday. I bought petrol at 1,150. This afternoon I went to buy petrol. Most of the filling stations around my area refused to sell. The ones that were available were selling for 1,250, 1,300. So in other words, the price of fuel is going up again.
Yes.
So that is the result you're seeing. I bought gas last week, 2,000 naira per kg. What is the minimum wage? How do you want people to survive? Truly, yes, leadership is when you can put something, people can see what you're doing.
But you know that all of this is because of global crisis. The Strait of Hormuz now because of the Iran U.S. Israel war. Now because all this thing. Not be President Tinubu.
Well, you see, this is you two. You're making an excuse for the government.
Am I?
It has nothing to do with
what is obvious, and
what we've had is a windfall. The problem with Iran and America is a windfall in oil prices for Nigeria. How are the people benefiting from it? How are we benefiting?
Because that high price of oil is supposed to make money for the excess crude.
Yes, the people are supposed to enjoy it. It's a windfall. But nobody's enjoying it. Even though you say subsidy is gone, precious. Who has accounted for the subsidy money that has been saved? Was this what we were told on the 29th of May 2023 when they said subsidy is gone? The only promise this administration has kept is the one of widening the tax net, dragging 140, 150 million Nigerians into multi-dimensional poverty. The roads you and I use, the ordinary roads we use from Lagos to Owerri, from Lagos to Port Harcourt, the roads are not motorable, but you're constructing a highway. Is it not human beings that are alive that will use the roads? What stopped? If the government was being proactive, why not fix the roads you met on the floor? Why not fix them? At least make them motorable. Then you begin to think of other, elephant projects you want to embark on. No, you won't do that. The government is not thinking about that. The government is thinking of things they would do to put their name on it, to think that they are famous. You cannot be famous. You cannot be talking of good governance in the midst of hunger and poverty. Maybe people are shy of saying it, but that's the truth. Like I tell people these days, if you go to a filling station to buy petrol, nobody will ask you which political party you belong to. Nobody even talks about Emiloko anymore. Is that bad? Because that is not what puts food on the table of Nigerians. So what people Nigerians want is, affordable lifestyle. Minimum, that's what they want. They want security of lives and property. They want their children to come out of schools and get employed. They want to have good roads, good hospitals. This is what comes with leadership. Leadership by example.
But people will say that
they want to see their president who is asking them to make sacrifices. They want to see making the same sacrifice.
But even the US itself hasn't gotten its act together with leadership. So how you never commodity
Well,
log
if you
where
say
they
they
high,
haven't
won't
gotten it,
commodity spec where they
if
another
you say,
person high.
if you say they haven't gotten
Yeah.
right to do that, how many of you know how much they make from Nigerians every year on visa? If they haven't gotten it right, why are Nigerians rushing to America? So you cannot tell me they have not gotten it right. You can never have a perfect society. But you must have something near perfection. If you say you're waiting for perfection, then you're not serious. But the point is that you must have the minimum. What the people call minimum. In terms of development, in terms of every leadership itself. There are things that are happening in this country that you ask yourself, what's going on? I mean, take for instance, somebody dies in the minister's house. The minister is all over the place giving press conferences. Nobody has arrested the minister. Let an ordinary person die in an ordinary Nigerian's house. You will see how the police come and bundle the person. Why are we having two laws in this country? Why is it that the ordinary people are not treated as human beings? You have they now call it phantom agency. And you're asking, nobody has stepped aside. So let us take it to the America you're talking about. When you hear of scandal in America or China, the person, if a government official is mentioned, do they hang on to power? Do they stay in the office and
those people may just voluntarily resign. So it's not like the system sacks them. They may voluntarily resign.
The reason why they voluntarily resign is because they want transparency. They believe in accountability. That is it. The moment you are in government and somebody there is a serious accusation about, you step aside for proper investigation. It is because these countries we're talking about, they have grown to the point where people do not aspire for leadership out of greed and selfishness, corruption, embezzlement. People aspire to leadership because they want to render services to the people. In Nigeria and in most African countries, it's not leadership for the people, but leadership for individuals.
All right, sir. So moving on, so what is in it for America in the first place? Why are they interested in Nigerian's case again?
I've told you the reason why everybody is interested is that, first of all, if Nigeria explodes, a lot of African countries will suffer it. We're talking about a country with about almost 250 million people. If something goes, if there's a snap in the system, do you know how many African countries will run over? If Nigeria gets it right in terms of leadership, I am telling you, Africa will stabilize. You will not have people telling your own nationals in other African countries, telling them to leave, treating them as nobodies. It is because they know that your leadership does not have what it takes to lead the people.
Okay. Speaking about it, I think I saw something like that happen in I think it was South African news, where a reporter was live on air and Amrobas robbed his phone live on air when he did report. Make I show you that. So that's a reporter standing there reporting live, and these are the robbers. Then pass in live camera. Then pass in live camera. Pass again. They tell us, bring that to where you get now. Bring it. I had to block some of it. He said, bring what you have right now. They even showed him a gun. And said he should bring. So people are saying that, wait, foreigners don't go. So how come that your people, they rob on a live? Do you know what this means? Live. He's standing to give live feedback during news. Live reporter. He was robbed live. You can see their cameras captured it live.
Hey, we're being
while they were
mugged.
waiting from the other
We're
end.
being mugged.
What exactly happened there? Just take us through that.
Well, I mean, I was literally seconds before going on air for the 7 o'clock bulletin. I'd just done one at 6:30. And these guys just came. In fact, I was confused because remember, as you stand there, I was the only one with the light on. The light was on me. So everybody else was you can't see the other people because they're outside of the sort of little portion that's being lit. And then here comes this person like looking for a phone. And I had my phone in my hand because I had just spoken to the executive producer about the crossing we're about of the bulletin, about the crossing we're about to do. And then someone comes, I'm like, hey, what's your problem? You know? And then suddenly I'm like, it's all these strangers I don't know. Because I was wondering, I mean, who could like possibly, you know, disturb me while they know that we're like literally seconds before going on air? And it was this guy, so they were trying to, so he was looking for the phone. So because I wasn't giving him the phone, then he calls the other one who has a gun to say, you know, Dula Lenja or something like that, you know. So at that point, like, you know, Sophie and them that scream, just give him the phone, you know. So I give him the phone, and then, you know, they took, I think about 2 or 3 phones, my phone, Sophie's phone, I can't remember who else's phone. And but also the laptop that we're using to, like, you know, do the crossing.
So they took their laptop that they're using to work, their phones, everything, instantly, live on air. This is not the level of criminality. For the same South Africa, we refer to almost all Nigerians as drug dealers.
Do you think for once that because the South Africans have asked other African nationals to leave South Africa, that crime will stop? The crime will not stop. Don't forget, it's all about economic empowerment. These people, these same South Africans have not been empowered economically. It's not like because Africans have left, they all get employed overnight. No. Crime is always there. Crime is part of the society. You can't throw away crime from the society. But the important thing is the ability of government to mitigate it, to try everything within its powers to ensure that crime does not exist.
Okay, so all right, so let's quickly go back to that interview with Albert Short very quickly. He said something about times being there and that the time is now to act, and that there is a Peter Obi and that he has very high moral and spiritual compass. Mentioning how he was a successful governor, how he took no salaries after governorship, how he was this and that. Was all that needed? What is America's interest in that?
When you say was all that needed, Precious, you can't talk about somebody, without talking about the person's legacies. You hear me? I'm sure you hear me and many other people talk about someone like the late Simon Bakwe.
You say
the
that
late,
the late
Jacob
Jaconde. You say that a lot, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you talk about them, if you can't talk about them without talking about their achievements. What did they achieve? What did they do? What did they do that keeps bringing them back to our mindsets? So you may not appreciate what they have done because you all live in the same environment and all of that. But people outside will appreciate them. And that is what happens. That is why when some of your pastors leave Nigeria and go abroad, you know, people appreciate them. So, yes, what the man is saying, he didn't say anything that Nigerians have not said in different ways. He didn't say anything different. He's just, you know, re-echoing what Nigerians have been saying. And what is that? This is the man who will tell you, my name is Peter Obi, go and verify. And like I tell people, let us be honest with ourselves. If Peter Obi had any small skeleton in his cupboard while he was a governor or while he held any government of position, do you think he would be walking the street the way he's walking it? Don't you think that EFCC would have hunted him down? But there's nothing to show. like a ghost. And sometimes, that's why sometimes I ask myself, is Peter Obi truly a Nigerian? Because we know what other people, other individuals who have been governors and former governors, we know what they have done in their state. We know how much, we know how much they've embezzled. We know how EFCC is chasing them up and down. We know those who left the state treasury empty with humongous amount of debt, or to contractors, or to everybody. But this man keep telling you, I didn't collect this. They gave me land. I said I didn't want. I didn't collect pension. But then we know most of the people today, there's some of them are even in the Senate. Your former governors are in the Senate. They're still collecting pension or whatever they want to call it from their states. So whatever the man has said, the man has not said anything different from what Nigerians are saying. He's just re-emphasizing it and drawing the attention of Nigerians to the fact that, look, this is the time for you guys to think out of the box. This is the time for you to take back your country. Decide on who you want to give the leadership of your country to. Decide on who you believe will take you to El Dorado. That's all he's saying. He's not saying any other thing other than that. And this was what we told Nigerians in 2023. But then we know what played out in 2023.
Okay, so all right. So Nigerians, phone lines are open. Do well to joining on the conversation if you want to do so. I think we have a new WhatsApp number now, so please do well in case you want to call on WhatsApp. It's 0808 675 9679. That's call 088-675-9679, or you click on the link on the pinned post and it will bring you straight into the studio. So there was something else that he did say very quickly. He said that the present administration has failed on its primary duty of protecting lives. I mean, this is the same lives that President Trump said that their troops have quashed those killing Christians. How can he say at the same time that, is he saying that the president of the United States lied about killing Christians? Because if TINUBU has failed in safeguarding Nigerians, that means the alliance or the partnership with the U.S. government that brought the U.S. military to Nigeria has also failed. That's what it means.
Well, Precious, I'm not asking one. There's a question I've been expecting you to ask. Why did the Americans leave?
Why did they leave then, if you have answers to that?
Why did they leave?
Okay.
If they have not been able to quell the incessant attacks on communities, why did they leave?
Why were they not able to ensure that people who were displaced from their villages are reintegrated back to their villages before leaving?
Is that what? You see, when people
what is the essence of the assignment if people who are displaced are not reintegrated back in their villages?
Are you aware of the terms of engagement signed between your government and the American
there's
government?
not training, they train them, sir.
So how do you, if they're training people, how do you expect them to get involved?
And they should teach them how to ensure that they sack those people in those villages. The people in people's villages illegally.
It is not about teaching them, Precious. No, let's not get it wrong. It's not about teaching them. It's about your government. First and foremost, I keep asking this question. Nobody has answered it. Let me use the new term we use now. The phantom lands are said to have belonged, or the lands, maybe the lands didn't exist, but we know that there are lands that people who live in IDP camps came out of, their ancestral homes. And we know that they were chased out of those ancestral homes by bandits and terrorists. So who is occupying those lands? If the government has decided to relocate people and put them in IDP camps, who are those occupying those places? So the people that are occupying those places obviously are not people from that community. So what stops government from going to bomb those places? What stops them? When you know that the original owners of the land are now in IDP camps. So why have they not gone to bomb those places?
Those villages where others have taken over.
Exactly. So who are the people that have taken over? So it brings us to the fact that I keep telling people, this whole thing is not about killing, it's not about killing, it's about land grabbing. It's either there is high quality minerals on those lands that are being mined, or those who took over the land have decided to settle there. And if these two things are there, then and the government is aware and the government is doing nothing about it, then the government is complacent in what is happening.
Okay, and then on the final note, stating that every metrics in Nigeria has gone down within the past 10 years. He mentioned the economy, poverty, education, corruption. He said everything don't go down here. Is that not exaggeration, sir? Everything went down.
Me and
and National Reserve has increased, though.
Me and you were in the same shoes now. We should be asking ourselves, in the last 10 years, has your life been better than it was before? That's how you judge. In the last 10 years, do you have good road networks? Can you boast of your hospitals? Can you boast of the quality of students being churned out from schools? Can you boast of, people renting houses at reasonable prices?
Oh, so talking about houses very quickly, here's what Femi Falana had to say about the houses one built for judges recently. I beg, just take a listen.
That we have got a stage in the country where we need to challenge the special privileges given to the rich and top public officers in the country. Yesterday, I was watching the telly. I was very sad when I saw that the federal government was handing over the keys of houses to judges. And I asked myself, under what law are we operating from? Because it's discriminatory and illegal. You must treat equals equal in our country. So you can't take out judges. Judges are entitled to accommodation, by the way. They must live comfortably, they must well secured. But other citizens must be equally provided for. If you don't do it, you can be challenged. And that is going to happen very soon. Because what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If you have a professor who also has to render services to the society, and those professors are not paid well, nobody talks of providing houses for them now. They were living in rented quarters. These days, there are not enough quarters for them. So we must also look at that. If governors who are in the National Assembly, about 21 of them, are taking salaries from the National Assembly and jumbo allowances, and they are also entitled to a house in the state where they govern for 4 or 8 years, and another house in Abuja, and you have a civil servant who has worked for 35 years, and is just turned out at the end of the day. So we must insist that equality before the law in our country is respected.
So the problem be say all this talk could even make any headway. This equality go ever happen, because just true to what he said, what is the point giving judges houses and not giving professors houses, lecturers befitting houses, doctors befitting houses, because they're all serving the public?
Yes, first and foremost, let us get one thing cleared out. It is not the responsibility of the federal government, of the FCT minister, to build houses for judges.
Well,
the judiciary arm of government, the legislative arm of government, and the executive arm of government are supposed to be independent bodies. purely independent of one another. And that they should all, the others, that they all have their budgets, and their money does not come, their money comes directly to them. But unfortunately, it is not happening. Unfortunately, the executive arm of government has become overlord, has become the lord of both the judiciary and the legislative arm of government. And they do these things just because, so that they can continue to benefit from the largesse of the Nigerian people. So as far as we're concerned, it's an aberration, it's uncalled for, it's unhealthy. It needs to change. You have 100, I think you have about 109 senators. If you go and carry out your investigation, you'll be shocked that not up to 30% of them have forwarded a bill, have presented a bill. Not up to 50% of them have become outspoken. So it's unfortunate. You serve your state for eight years as a governor, you now become a billionaire. You serve your local government for 4 years, 8 years, you become a billionaire. A councillor, the same thing. But I don't blame them. I still blame the civil servants, because they work in cohort with the civil servants to enrich themselves. Why the civil servants remain poor?
Speaking about working in cahoots with the civil servants and corruption, especially siphoning our money, something interesting happened on Arise Television's breakfast show this morning, as Rufai, got emotional and started crying when he remembered that at sometime around 1974, Nigeria borrowed World Bank over 200 million naira to use to help other countries. But because of how, according to them, when they don't loot our fund reach, we don't even get money. Now, they go to different countries, including the World Bank, to borrow money.
I play in that space. I do a lot of advocacy for people. But Ayo, we need to jolt our leaders. Ayo, what happened to this country? We are seeing the likes of the Machimogu. We have seen the likes of Malami, forfeiture and everything. We need to jolt our country back. Ayo, I cry for Nigeria this morning. Let me read something to you. Why I'm crying, why I scream sometimes for this country. On the 23rd of December 1974, Nigeria signed a long-term borrowing agreement with the World Bank. Under this agreement, Nigeria provided $240 million in net resources to the World Bank reserves. And we're borrowing World Bank money.
We were lending.
We're lending World Bank money to do development projects for other countries. In 1975, we also lent 120 million to the IMF. This country was not depending on aid in the 70s. I feel like crying this morning. What has happened to this country? And because people are looting the country dry. The same country that was lending World Bank money, $240 million in the 70s. In that same 70s, do you know that Britain was going to the World Bank to loan money because they had an economic crisis? That time we were lending them money.
All right, Dr. Batu. Meanwhile,
let me drop it there. Nigerians, you're welcome. Tiwa Danjuma, welcome. Comparable facts. Osiago, I saw you here. Where did you go to come back? You are the first person who joined. Mr. Osiago, please come back. Prince Francis, would you love to chime in on that briefly before others jump in? This is really very disturbing and emotional. And just in case you don't understand the context of that conversation, this is as Aisha Chimogo, the court has granted final forfeiture of billions, properties worth billions of them, billions of naira worth of cars, properties, jewelries, very expensive ones that she's forfeiting. And of course, Malami, over 46 properties of Abubakar Malami, very hefty ones, so lands, houses, hotels, not hotels, different of them. That's exactly what he's saying. It was like, these people they use get all this money them.
I'm sorry, and the former central bank, Emefiele.
And Emefiele doesn't just happen today. It just happened today. And these ones happened yesterday.
Precious.
Sir?
You know, when some of us talk, we keep asking, This is not the Nigeria that we knew when we were growing up. This is not the Nigeria. At least I would say I enjoyed Nigeria. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed free education. I'm a proud product of public school. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Nigeria that was, you could just wake up from sleep and take a train from Lagos and you go to Niger State. You will not be scared of anything. You take a night bus, you go to Owerri, you go to Onitsha, you go to Port Harcourt. You have an appointment for 10 o'clock, you take a night bus. By 5:36 a.m., you are in Port Harcourt, you look for a nearby hotel, just enter their gents and clean up yourself, brush your teeth, change your clothes inside there, and you're out. The next available night bus, you are back to Lagos. But can you do the same today? You cannot. See, when Nigerians were upset with what the wife of the president said, the Gen Zs and Gen Alpha, they will not understand. They will not understand why people like us are upset with such comments. Because we know that the likes of our president, his wife, the Senate president, name them. These are people who have been benefiting from Nigeria. These are people who have been eating off the labor of the ordinary Nigerians. So we know. So when you come and tell Nigerians to go and start frying akara, you tell Nigerians to go and start doing agbado.
Prince Francis Chilaka, at what point did politics
Let me
become
finish,
the
Precious. Let me finish. You tell Nigerians to be patient. Yet, those of you who are asking people to be patient, when you're traveling, you have an entourage, 50, 60 cars. Whatever you're doing, you just have people flocking around you. You have turned yourselves as demigods. And you want the people to be patient. And you feel you're a good leader. In a country that we have today that, for you to go to any hospital, and if you go to any government hospital, you will buy gloves. You will buy gloves. And for you to see a doctor, you will be there 4 a.m. You see people in the hospital collecting tally. Because a lot of people can no longer afford to go to private hospitals. So yes, a lot has gone wrong. And it all went wrong because the people suddenly became docile, the people suddenly became stupid, the people suddenly became carried away by religion and carried away by ethnicity. And then the politicians sat back and said to themselves, oh, we can take advantage of this situation. That is why we are where we are today. Because you become, like they say, religion is opium of the people. It is an opium completely.
Thank you. There's quite a lot to
Because
talk
when
about
the
this.
people are supposed to talk, you hear somebody will stand on the pulpit and tell you, hold your peace. And you ask yourself, if Jesus Christ was preaching that kind of peace that some of our wicked and fake religious men are preaching today, would he have gone to flog people in the church? He wouldn't have. So yes, things have gone wrong. And unfortunately, we have to correct it. But how, when, I don't know.
So, Prince Francis, at what point did we make politics so lucrative that it's become the most thriving industry in Nigeria? Why can we Nigerians not beg that that should stop? Because the most successful industry in Nigeria right now is politics. How did we make politics so juicy? And then why do we not have a system that holds leaders accountable, in the sense that if you were a nobody before you enter, we'll begin to trace your source of wealth. For instance, how did an Akpabio become as wealthy as he is? And what is the amount of wealth he has? I'm just giving an example. How did Amechi, Wike, Atiku, all of them, how did they become wealthy? What is their source of wealth? Can we trace it? Can we audit their source of wealth? Why is that not happening in Nigeria?
It is
how did we make politics so juicy?
It is because of the kind of constitution you have. And as I've always said it, I said that 1999 document was the worst thing that anybody has given to this country. It was the worst thing. And that document needs to be thrown away, shredded, burnt. Unfortunately, we almost got close to having a real constitution, but then Jonathan, in his ways and means, could not live up to it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nigerians, you're welcome. T.Y. Danjuma, you're welcome. Comparable Facts, you're welcome. Madam B, you're welcome. Good to see you. Swago, please, I look forward to you rejoining. I saw you earlier. You're welcome. Comparable Facts have been waiting. Let me let you jump in on the conversation first. Please go ahead. Comparable Facts, are you there? Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Greeting everybody. Yes. TY, everybody. Mr. Chilaka, it's good to be on the platform. So, Mr. I've been on the World Cup. I've been on the World Cup trail, man. My brother Danjuma, I don't know if I will be able to see World Cup in my lifetime again close to me like this. So I decided to take the opportunity to go watch as much match as I am. The next match, being on the final, which is going to be on Sunday, I'll be right there, So it's just an opportunity if I can afford it, I may not see it again. Okay, thank you very much. So, having said that, Mr. Chilaka, you said something about El Dorado. I mean, can Nigeria ever have your so professed El Dorado in anytime soon, or any decade, or any century? The way we are headed, the trajectory we are heading, is that possible?
It is possible.
How?
Let me tell you the truth. Nigerians are too religious. Nigerians are too sentimental. The day our men of God begin to preach liberation theology, the day they realize that the pulpit is used to correct government and chastise government and chastise the people, the day they begin to use the pulpit to preach morality, be rest assured that Nigeria will be in the safe hands. But so long as all we preach is prosperity, healing, miracles, then we're not ready. Because everybody, no matter what they do, they go to church. If government has failed to allow people to understand the values they should have, the religious institutions should not fail us. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, the religious institutions have failed us, and we're hoping, like Odumeje preaching was it 2 Sundays ago, until we begin to have every man of God who calls himself a real man of God begin to say the truth. They need to start speaking the truth. Speak truth to power. It doesn't matter whether the person is your tribesman, whether it's your uncle, whether it's your brother. Speak the truth. It is only the truth that can set this country free.
Okay.
So it is something beholding on every one of us. The people, the politicians, the religious institutions.
Okay, Mr. Chilaka, just intervene. I mean, this religiosity that befell most of Nigeria, particularly the poor ones, it's just part of the problem. It's not the whole of the problem because we have so many issues. I mean, constitution that you properly stated earlier, but the constitution is not just the problem. It's not only the problem. It's just the Nigerians. I mean, when I have to talk, I mean, I don't know your, personal or whatever, but the way you talk, I have faith in you. But Nigerians are bad people. There's a lot of Nigerian bad people, particularly the leadership that we have. Let me put it in that narrow angle. The Nigerian people are so bad people. They are wicked. They are wicked. Look at what people were saying about how, the embezzlement, forfeiting everything they are forfeiting. But you can never get anywhere, Mr. Chilaka, when you have a dodgy president, a president with a dodgy background. I'm not just blaming him. He didn't quite start today. But you have a dodgy president, how do you expect him to change? TINUBU is a very terrible human being in all capacity, mafia, enemy.
Excuse your language, sir.
Yes, I'm
Please,
speaking
sir.
about it. I will call him a dodgy president, a very terrible, wicked human being. Precious, you are not saying it.
Now, don't say this about our president.
But it's my opinion.
No.
If you don't want me to say it because of the platform, I will respect that. But the guy doesn't have any empathy for human being. Okay? I mean, the first day when during your inauguration, you said fuel subsidy gone. And petroleum was about 185. It skyrocketed that particular day to about 500. Now it's about 1,000. And you are not actually subsidized. You call it energy security. Imagine that. What are they doing with the money? How did you come? They are not civil with the Nigerian people. Let them know what is actually going on. What is energy security? Can anybody actually tell me what is actually going on there? I can understand why Rufai was crying. Sometimes, there's so much you can speak. Sometimes he started crying as a man. You don't want to cry. But I understand his pain. Okay? We are Nigeria. What Nigeria should have been and what Nigeria should have become. We are nowhere. We're just, we are just, regressing in all capacity. I don't see anything coming out. All these people are talking about what they are passing in the Congress here in the United States or something like that. You don't depend on America to do anything for you, okay? America is very transactional. I love my country over here, but they are very transactional. So let's not depend on America to say the Congress over here, they're doing anything unless everybody starts singing hallelujah. They're not going to come and save you. Nigeria need to save themselves. All this is just rhetoric. Even I thought they're going to do anything, it's going to be just very, very minimum. Nothing is going to come out of it. Let them take all the whole aid they are giving to Nigeria. Which common man in Nigeria has benefited from the so-called aid? Of course, there's going to be something in for America, so let's call it a spade a spade. So we should be able to do something by ourselves until the day we decide to stand up and say, okay, this is where we are. We shouldn't be docile anymore, We have to, take the bull by hand and save this country. These politicians we have right now, they're not going nowhere because their children, their children are coming up. Precious, Mr. Chilaga, they're going to be worse than their parents. People like Wike son, TINUBU and everything, they're going to be worse than their parents. I think it's about time Nigeria do something. I don't know what it's going to me, it's going to be revolution. I don't think election is going to result to anything. Whether it's parallel voting like we were talking about yesterday, they're going to be able to protect their voting like they did in Kano. That's not going to work. Everything, how about when you get to the final headquarters? This INEC person we have right now is probably worse than the previous one. It's worse than the previous one. There's a mandate they gave him for we to give you. I believe what is that Dr. Chidi Carlo said. And I believe what he said. They have an agreement with him. You have to meet our mandate or we're not going to have you. That's exactly what's implementing right now. You try to subjugate any kind of opposition. Look at what's happening right now. It pains me to be so emotional,
Thank you.
But because I love my country, so something has to give. But I'm going to ask my question later on. So let other people speak.
Let me quickly take this call. Good evening and welcome. Good evening, Hans. Welcome.
Good evening, Madam
Hans, you're welcome. Yes, go ahead, please.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you. Welcome.
And good evening, our host, Prince, and other
guest on the platform.
Well,
my own will sound like I will sound like somebody that is going to advise Nigerians and the general public. The last caller just said it. Well, that the problem is not the constitution. The problem is majority of the problem. Constitution is adds to it, but I think Nigeria has enough constitution that can guide the country to the right place. The problem is the people implementing the constitution. The laws are there. And it is applied and used in the right form. It will serve the country. So the problem is the people that is supposed to implement the laws.
Thank you.
And I want to use this opportunity to talk to Nigerians. You can see the rate of corruption. This Malami case that we are talking about now. How much has this guy looted from the coffers of the Nigerian people? Billions of trillions, not billions, trillions of naira. So you see that corruption has no tribe and has no religion, has no ethnicity.
Yeah.
Malami has looted both the Northerners and the Muslims. He did not build any hospital. He did not build any school for the Aramajuris. He did not create any job for the people of the North. All he has done is hotel. You just said it. Hotel. But he will be the one to tell you that his religion is against. His religion is against.
So Hans, you help us hurry because of the noise in your background. Thank you.
So what I'm saying in sense is that all Nigerians should wake up and stand up for good governance. Remove religion, remove tribe, remove religion. Let's vote for the right people to come and save Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Hans. Thank you. Madam B, good evening and welcome. You're welcome. Madam B, let me let you speak quickly before we go to T.Y. Danjuma. Like I said, I have something to show you. There are a few videos, one or two I want to show you, and I like your reaction on it before I let you go. So please just be a little bit patient with me. Madam B, go ahead, please.
Good evening, Precious.
Good evening, ma. Welcome.
Prince Chilaka, good evening, sir. T.Y., good evening.
Good evening.
How Nadeo, God bless us. See, this I'm just so I don't want to use the press about this matter in Nigeria now these days. This Malami thing now. You see, there is no rejoicing when you read things like this so things confiscated for this from this person, billions, because it's just like thief collect, thief steal them. When those things are taken from the Malamis of this world, do we even feel the impact in the lives of an average Nigerian on the streets? No. Okay, so all these properties, the hotels, the university, everything collected from Malami now. What benefit would those things be to an average Nigerian? We always hear they collect, but now say they collect from somebody with a hear. How did you wait and collect from that person? Take enter anywhere, nobody they ever
or
hear
take enter back into our national treasury.
That is it.
Exactly.
Not
my dear
good,
sister.
Nothing.
And man will say, "Oh, quite him no check."
So it's so frustrating. You know, in fact, if not, it was because of something that Prince Tilaka said this night that made me come up. I didn't want to come up before about tribalism. See, we need to kill tribalism, or tribalism will kill us.
Benny,
yeah,
thank you.
In fact, that is the major problem we are having now. Something
and it is deliberate, though. It is deliberate, though, that we are thinking
these people
this
they are using it, weaponizing it against us, and as gullible as we are, we keep falling into their traps.
After we go say now we educated past them.
For where something done the trend on social media about this Isaac Fayoshe matter.
I did not
today.
want to mention that, please, Ma. If you would excuse me not to mention it.
Do you know why?
I didn't want to mention it because I don't see any reason why we should be in that drama. Honestly speaking, it's very distracting.
Thank you.
So I didn't want to mention it. And if you notice, it's not everything that trends on social media I mention. It is deliberate.
Oh yeah.
Because I see those things as a deliberate distraction for the goal ahead. And I don't think it's necessary. to dwell on them.
You know why I'm bringing it up is because of some content creators that are taking advantage to see, because Peter Obi, I listened to him. That man is preaching love, unify the nation.
I can assure you that if the Peter Obi even meets Isaac Fayoshe tomorrow, the way he will thank him, you'll be thinking that he did.
Even if I know,
who he is.
one of the comments I say, if Peter Obi meets Tinubu today, he will greet Tinubu with respect and with civility. But you, that you call yourself a supporter of Peter Obi, and then at every point, you must go against everything that is Yoruba, everything that is Fulani, everything that is Hausa. And I keep telling this particular content creator that, look, one tribe cannot make Peter Obi the president. One tribe cannot make Tinubu the president. It must be a collective joining together of all the so-called tribes in Nigeria. So if now you single yourself out that, look, I'm from Peter Obi's tribe, and then every other person that is not aligning with that, they must be bad, they must be evil, they are sycophants, they are sellouts, they are backbiters, it's not going to help anybody. And that is what these politicians, that is one weapon they have that they are perfected against the average Nigerian citizen. And we keep falling year in, year out, year in, year out. If we don't come together, we'll remain in this shouting match, and Tinubu will be there. 2020 to 2027 will come. He will remain there, and heaven will not fall. And Peter Obi will still be going, waxing stronger in his business and in his private life. Let's see who will suffer them. Because it's time for us to learn some sense.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And just to say something or add something to what you said, I do not think that people attack or P2B supporters attack only other tribes except Igbos. I'm sorry, that's not my perception of what the attack is. From my perception, I think that just very emotional. They want anybody who supports P2B to just be fanatical about him and not think about anyone else. That's the way I see it. Because I have also seen them, I'm coming, man. I've also seen them attack their fellow Igbos who sold out P2B. So it is wrong to think that it is other tribes who support P2B that who makes mistakes that they attack. No. They also attack Igbo people.
That is one, that is one particular.
If you look at most of them, the spokesperson of P2B today, whom we have seen as one of the spokespersons, Zekari is not Igbo. He's not Hausa. He's not Yoruba.
No, absolutely not.
Guy, you know, so I do not think that the P2B people are about Igbo agenda or supporting Igbo. I just thought to state that very clearly.
In fact,
that
see,
people who are driven by the passion
Precious.
and ambition to see.
I understand what you're saying. In fact, I told this one particular person today, I said, look, I'm accusing you as an APC mole. Because what you are doing is not benefiting Peter Obi, is not benefiting the agenda of those of us who are passionately praying to see that Peter Obi gets there in 2027. You are not doing that. It's like you are putting a chisel to scatter this thing that people are trying to build. Even when you are talking about Obi Kubana and everything, you always have, okay, look at this Umahi incident now. You still find a way to link it to other tribes. How? It's not a tribal thing.
No,
sorry,
I've not heard that happen. No.
Oh, I've heard it. Because this evening I saw that. I was on that girl's this evening, and she's so fond of doing that. This thing is not about tribe; it's about an individual.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm actually not interested in knowing.
I don't even want to give her the publicity of mentioning her name here. So this is not about tribe; it's about individuals. This could have been announced. It could have been Yoruba, it could have been Video. You understand? Sorry.
I said we have good, bad, and ugly people across all
religions. Exactly. It will have been anybody, regardless of where they come from. We're talking of people who have these minds that are so negative and so dark. So until we start seeing people individually like that, and we allow religion and tribe, I don't even know which one is worse among these two stuff. We are not going anywhere. It's just unfortunate. And these people will be laughing and they'll be rejoicing there. We got them. We should stop being gotten.
Thank you, Madam B. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So Prince Francis Chilaka, I know you are itching to go. I don't know if anyone has question for him. Does anybody have question for Prince Francis? Please unmute yourself and kindly state your question very quickly before I take his reaction to the videos I want to play now. Does anyone have question for him apart from a contribution?
Yeah, I do. I do have the question. It's in reference
Okay, so
to what
just go ahead and ask him the question.
in reference to what I asked before. So, Mr. Chilaka, the fuel subsidy has been removed. So, how was it renamed to security or whatever energy they call it? How is that working out? I mean, where's the money been gone to? We are still borrowing the same, more than we have been borrowing before. So, can you make this? Can you make it make sense to me? What actually,
If you ask me, now who I go ask?
Same.
This country where we there, so now magic we they see. The funny thing is that we have a government that has found it difficult in being very honest and sincere to the Nigerian people. And it strives from the fact that Nigerians don't see the need to hold their leaders accountable. Nigerians don't ask questions. Nigerians don't seek for answers. So even when some of us will ask questions, what has happened to the savings on subsidy is gone? You will still see people who come up and tell you, why are you asking? Don't you see that the government is working? And you ask them, what is it that the government is doing? Today, the government tells you that they're building coastal highway. They are awarding contracts to build 27 roads across 9 or 10 states. But the ones we are using, the roads that are there before now, why did they not fix them? So this question you're asking is, where is the money? It's a question a lot of people have been asking, but the government will not answer you. And you cannot go and manufacture an answer on behalf of the government. You see, there's something I always tell people. When Jonathan came up with that his story of somebody being asleep and somebody pretending to be asleep, it defines who we are in Nigeria. He told you that the man that is fast asleep can be woken up easily than the man who is pretending to sleep. Today in Nigeria, the citizens are pretending to be asleep. They are not sleeping properly.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me quickly play a couple of videos and I take your thought on them. First off, let's start with Olusegun Obasanjo, sir. Here's what he said.
The so-called constituency projects, which is a veritable source of corruption. These constituency projects are spread over the budget for members of the National Assembly, for which they are the initiator and the contractor directly or by proxy, and money will be fully drawn, with the project only partially executed or not executed at all. The National Assembly cabal of today is worse than any cabal that anybody may find anywhere in our national governance system. Members of the National Assembly pay themselves allowances for staff and offices they do not have or maintain. Once you are a member, you are co-opted, and your mouth is stuffed with rottenness and corruption that you cannot opt out, as you go home with not less than 15 million naira a month for a senator and 10 million naira a month for a member of House of Representatives. The National Assembly is a den of corruption by a gang of unarmed robbers.
Hey! Did you hear that? That the National Assembly is a den of corruption by a den of unarmed robbers.
Are we just hearing that, Precious?
Sir?
Are you just hearing that? And are you just believing that? You know, sometimes when some of your senators come to make noise, I tell you that they're just making noise. When they check their account and they see that that money they have, maybe they had 20 billion in their account, and they see that it is now 19.5 billion, they begin to make noise so that they can get another 0.5 billion to add to it to make it back to 20. That's the kind of National Assembly you have. That is why the National Assembly you have cannot carry out their oversight functions. That's the truth. The only time you see them talking about oversight function, it depends on the ministry. If it is ministry that have money that they know they can collect from, they will make noise. The ones that they don't know that they cannot collect money from, they ignore them. So there is nothing he has said that is new to us as Nigerians.
Okay, sir. I mean, coming from a former president, but let's go. But he had everything it takes to have corrected it from the beginning. Did he not set the precedent? Did he not make it happen? Did he not create an enabling environment for them to thrive?
Well, if you ask that question, sometimes you don't know it all. But one thing I know that goes down, why I have so much respect for Obasanjo, former president, is the fact that he has always been speaking out. The things he couldn't correct as a president, he has been speaking out against it and calling for it to be corrected. So that's the difference between him and others.
All right, sir. So let me quickly play you the next set of videos. Please kindly take a listen. First of all, this one is coming from the father of the young lady who was...
I am Col Abert Wisdom, the father of late Mary Habila. Just as my barrister have just said, I don't have much to talk in this case. All that I want is the death of my daughter. We don't keep death of a little child up to so long, just like this. So that is why I'm here to say it once again and for all. I need the corpse of my daughter to take her for burial. That is what I'm standing on. Thank you very much. My name is Col Abert Wisdom. I said I don't want the autopsy. That's why I'm demanding the corpse of my daughter to go and bury her now. We were having a very cordial relationship, both in her working place, in my home, and everywhere.
So, sir, if you are demanding for the cost, that cost, in his family, are there not pressing charges? Because the allegations that apparently are death that they cause as some circumstances. So, what is the position of the family on this matter?
The position of the family in this matter is, I've said, we are of the truth. We need the corpse of this daughter. We don't want that autopsy that we are talking about. Yes, sir.
Are you suspecting
I am not suspecting anybody because that can occur. Even as we are standing here, one can fall here now and die. So we are not suspecting anybody. It has happened. It has happened. Thank you.
Okay, so let me stop it here. By the way, while you're reacting to this very quickly, I still make a report you to waiting Nigerians. One Nigerian guy can talk about our whole Minister of Works by experience, a professor.
This is David Umahi Airport in Ebonyi State. The airport he said he built for 36 billion is now used for church service because not even drones land on this airport. This is what I call white elephant project. So David Umahi said he built this airport for 36 billion, but investigators said actually he spent over 42 billion on it. Now, why is this airport now being used for church service? Because it's not usable. David Umahi, used poor material to build this airport. The first flight that landed at this airport, pilot complained that the landing the plane, that the runway was too bumpy. And they investigated it and found it to be true. That the runway was too bumpy. Umahi, the great engineer, used, concrete somehow some kind of concrete to build the runway, something that was not supposed to be used, doesn't meet international runway standard, is what he used as a professor of construction to build the runway. So it wasn't safe. It wasn't safe for flight to use. So they suspended it. Now, the new governor, Francis Nwefuru, have allocated 17 billion naira to repair the runway that has not been used for once, to repair the runway of a brand new airport. 17 billion. Now, that's not all. They also discovered that the roof of the brand new airport that Omahi built for 36 billion is now leaking water. The roof is leaking water. So they budgeted additional 2 billion naira to repair the roof of airports that have never been used. That is the reputation that today Omahi left has, and that is his character of a person, and that is the man that is handling that is supervising the most expensive contract ever awarded by the Nigerian government, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, awarded to a Lebanese criminal, Chad Guri, who was convicted in Switzerland for helping Abacha to loot, to transfer stolen Nigerian fund abroad for Abacha. You know what they do? They transfer the money, he take his own cut. You know, that's what you actually call as a man. So that was what he was to Abacha, as a man. That as a man is who TINUBU awarded contract of $13 billion US, the most expensive contract ever awarded by the Nigerian government in history. And who is supervising it? The work minister, the same day Omahi, that built an airport that is unusable. Another project in Ebonyi State.
Prince Francis Chilakasa, let me let you comment on this one very, very, very quick before I play the last video for you.
You know, I've always said this, and I hope that somebody will take this message to, especially all the governors in the Southeast. I've said to them, embarking on building airports all over the Southeast is madness. It shows that they don't have vision. It shows that
Southwest governors are building now. Southwest governors have started building their own too.
Precious, I'm coming. Okay, I'm not interested in what the Southwest is doing. I'm interested in what the Southeast governors are doing. What stops them from putting all that money into trade networking the entire Southeast? Do you know the benefit of that? If you network the entire Southeast by train. So each time people talk of Ebonyi State and the airport, I laugh. Because even the one in Owerri, how many people use it? Even the one in Owerri, you call an international cargo airport, how many people use it?
And Abia State is building one too.
So let's move to the first video of the girl, the father of the girl that died. The father of the girl that died in Umahi's house. First of all, that man needs to be brought out in public and flogged.
Hey, sir?
Yes,
he's
a stupid father. He is not worthy to be called a father. He is talking like a man who is under the influence of cheap drugs. Your daughter dies in a very under mysterious circumstance, and you're saying it is the family. You don't want this. All you want is for them to give you the body of your daughter. Apparently, the daughter has no value. Yes. The daughter has no value. It has no value for her. And this is the problem with a lot of men, Nigerian men especially, who don't have value for their girl child. That man has just exhibited the fact that he has no value for his girl child. He's not even treating her like a human being. He's treating her like an object.
Well, he said that death can happen at any time. That somebody can die while standing.
If very soon he will drop dead and die now.
No, sir.
Somebody's father talking like a fool, a buffon.
Hey.
Honestly, that man needs to be brought out in public market square and flogged every day, 24 strokes for 1 year.
Okay, sir. So let me play this last video for you. And, You know, oftentimes we have been talking about how people maltreat their house helps and what they do to house helps and children they carry. Now, here is a video of a woman who beat her house help until the child died, and she threw away her body inside the bush. I had to blur the sensitive part. Listen to her speaking Igbo language. Oh, unfortunately, that's audio. Let me see if I can get that audio. I'll try to get that audio for you so that it wouldn't be. I'll try to get that audio for you very quickly. I would really love you to hear what she said. I don't know why the audio isn't playing. I don't know why. But let me let you react to that very quickly whilst I try to get the audio, sir. Okay,
Precious.
Here's the audio. Very quickly. Let me see if I can get that audio. Oh dear. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I will get it.
Each time people talk about women maltreating their house helps, I say it without remorse. A lot of Igbo women are devils incarnate. A lot of Igbo women, let me say it again. I'm saying it. I'm an Igbo man and I know they'll come after me. But a lot of Igbo women, they are teaching the devil work when it comes to maltreating other people's children. And I don't know why, especially the Igbo women, most of them, some of them, I don't know why they do that. If you know you cannot take care of some other person's child, why take up that responsibility? Why bring that child into your house? Why bring the child into your house and maltreat the child?
Kindly give me a second to listen to the audio, her voice. Did you hear that? Let me repeat it again.
No, I heard it. I don't repeat it. I don't repeat it. So okay. Tomorrow now that woman is not different from all these bandits and terrorists we're talking about. She's not different. And tomorrow she will now tell you she has repented. But she did it consciously. You beat somebody else's
this
child.
incident keeps happening every time. You see
I
families.
have told you that
you see how
it is a common thing
amongst
some Igbo
but
women.
the children of the family are well taken care. Why? What is going on?
Precious.
What is wrong with our humanity in Nigeria?
Precious. Let us not. No. Don't use Nigeria. Let's not pretend. It's a trend that is some Igbo women. They are teaching the devil work.
Help him.
Yes. They are teaching the devil work. If you know you cannot take care of somebody's child, why do you bring in the child into your house?
And people are saying some of these children may be their sisters or relatives' children. Oh.
Exactly.
That you maltreat in this manner.
And
now you kill somebody's child.
Precious, I beg. Good night, I beg. Don't spoil my mood this night.
No vex, sir. Make I let you go. Good night, sir. Let me let you go.
Good night.
Good night. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, Tiwa Danjuma, jumping on the conversation. I know that you have a lot to say.
Yes, let me thank Prince Chilaka for being here and his contributions. Precious, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir.
Mr. Mok, I greet you. Idonte, welcome. Madam B, and is that Ken?
She don't go. And I can. Madam B don't go.
Okay, I greet everybody. I greet the viewers. You know, everybody has spoken well. And as far as I'm concerned, the summary for me of Nigeria's greatest problem is not insurgency today. It's not insurgency. Nigeria's greatest problem is political banditry. Because, and why am I saying that? I mean, look at the figures that you are reading out. Houses where they don't pay.
You see those houses, the thing weak me. What?
Money, these are small. These are just the tip of the iceberg. You go to Yaya Bello, you go to so many of them. You go to
no, Yaya Bello, no fit. They didn't answer question yet.
Yeah, you go to Desiani, you go to, I mean, you go to those where they never probe, you go to Oga at the top, you go, I mean, you know, you see that Nigeria has bastard money. There's no reason for Nigerians to be suffering. This is self-inflicted injury. Let me give you an example. Even as things are bad now, as difficult, because you can see that it's possible for Nigeria to work. Anybody who says Nigeria cannot work, that the problems are too enormous, yes, we have problems. But to say that Nigeria no go fit work, you need to bring Jesus and so on and so forth, that's a blatant lie. I'll give you an example. I take OT, for example. Now, in 2 local governments in Abia State, you hardly would, they're enjoying 24 hours electricity, power supply. And the people where they sell generator are now losing customers. Why? Because people are not coming to maintain their generators. People are not buying generators. So those people who are selling, who are in that business,
even generator repairers go, then go lose customers.
They lose. You know what they did? They are now relearning. Some of them are learning welding. Because there's now light. There's now light, and so you are guaranteed that your cost of production this small, and you know you can work. So they are going now to go and learn a skill. Instead of just buying and selling things, they are now, the environment that has been created has now made them to now learn a skill, because they see a system where they are guaranteed that if they learn a skill, they are going to prosper. That's the enabling environment that we're talking about. When you have a government, scripture says that when a righteous king is on the throne, the people rejoice. So it is possible for Nigeria to work in spite of the enormous challenges that we are having. So OT is a lesson that if you properly invest the nation's wealth, the state wealth, and you avoid profligacy, thank God he is from the private sector, and you maintain strict financial discipline, and you take the people into consideration, the people will be the central focus of your administration. Things will work. There are people who are going back from Lagos now and going back to Abia State because they see the environment and opportunities that have been created. You can now sell ice water. You can cook your food and put in your fridge. So you don't need the cost of production of buying gas, of buying this thing has, you know, it's almost totally eliminated because you now have, you can cook once, put it in your fridge. You don't need to be cooking and cooking and cooking and cooking. So your domestic expenditure has come down. Security has improved. You can go on and on and on to see the chain reaction of what one vision, one man's vision, and strict adherence to the vision has cost. Now, you can say that this is just a state, it's a small, but it's an example. You can say it's a microcosm, but this is an example that if we begin to be intentional and purposeful and strategic in our thinking and in our expenditure and in our policies and in our governance, we can reasonably make impact. So that is what we see. So when you see people who are saying that within 4 years, I can do something that the people that you can appraise, that is behavioral, that you can see and measure, that's measurable. Some people say, no, it's not possible. Oh, the problem is too enormous. No, OT is an example. That even within 1 year, you can create that environment that will inspire investors to come in. So that is, so when we say, oh, constitution, oh, we'll say this, no. It's the same constitution that OT is working upon. Is it not the same constitution? And things are happening. Have you seen him busy attacking this person or attacking that person or attacking? No, he's focused on what he's doing because he's giving deliverables to the people. And the people will love him and they see what he's doing and appreciate him. We saw Ambode do almost the same thing. We saw Fashola do almost the same thing when they were there. But the conditions were not as bad as they are today. That's the significant point that I'm making. That even in such a hostile environment, you can create an enabling environment where investors will be attracted to come in. Fantastic if you see the investment that has moved into Abia and many more that has been attracted. Why is not he trying to build an airport? Because people are not coming in. So the airport is necessary, it's not a waste. Why did he concentrate in Aba? Because he has looked at it and seen Aba is almost the economic mainstay apart of Abia State. So if I can invest, if I identify the problems, do the roads, clear the rubbish, invest on electricity, then you open the system for investment to grow. You instill confidence in the people, and they can see that this is a government that wants to work. They can identify with the government. You will create jobs, and that will impact security. People now can do something because a lot of people go into crime, and I'm not justifying it, because they don't have anything to do. Now, when you have an environment where you can do something, then you are inspired, you are motivated to contribute and to be part of the progress that you see. So that is the kind of revolution that you are seeing. But you see people like Mwambafo making noise. I want to turn this place to Dubai. I want to is praising this person, is praising the president, is praising. This person has no time to be doing all that because he's focused. He has a job to do. But that's a professor of economics that knows it all. Compare what he has done in Anambra to what Oti has done. There is no comparison. And yet Oti is not a professor. So it's not mouth. It's not just coming and mouthing things. It's work. It's your ability to perform. And people are seeing it. Where are all those who are saying they're removing, are they still there? Are they still talking? Because they know they're wasting their time. And that is because one woman had the courage to say no. We will be different. Because if it wasn't for her, Abia will not be experiencing what. So I'm not surprised that she's retired now. And it's not surprising that she was honored. Because she took the uncommon decision, in spite of all the intimidation, that yes, I'm not going to succumb to pressure. Probably she saw the vision and she bought into it. And look at how that decision has blessed so many people, blessed other people. So Nigeria can work. But the challenge is the political elite. They are the bandits that we have. They are more dangerous than Boko Haram and Al-Qaeda and all those people that we see. They are the problem.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Ken, good evening and welcome. Mr. Ken, shoot. We have about 15 minutes to wrap up. Good evening, Mr. Ken. We can't hear you if you're speaking. Mr. Ken, are you there? Unfortunately, we can't hear you. I don't know why. So since we can't hear you, hello? Hello?
Hello, Precious. How are you?
Hello. Good to see you again. Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Edwin Danjuma.
Mm.
Good evening. Oh, good morning.
Let's see if we can hear Ken. Mr. Ken, can you hear us? We still can't hear him. So just go ahead.
Let me take Ken, please.
Okay, you want to say something? Make it quick, please. Go ahead.
No. I just want to say I'm agreeing with you, Danjuma. That's a very powerful label you label against Nigerian politicians. I think it should be the right word we should be using from now on. The political bandit we have in Nigeria, the politicians. So it's not the bandit. Bandit is different, but they are the highest, bandit we have in Nigeria. Thank you, T.Y. Danjuma.
Thank you.
Precious, let me add one thing quick, because there's a comment there in the comment section, and they say somebody is saying, "Oh, federal government is giving Abia State money." Federal government is giving every other person money. Why are they not performing like Oti?
The money that federal government is giving, not federal government get them. Now then get them.
So
you're doing as if it's a favor.
It's not giving money.
Our Commonwealth.
Everybody is getting money.
Can you hear
so
me?
it's not getting the money. It's the
yes,
performance.
I can hear you, Mr. Ken. Thank you. Go ahead now, Mr. Ken. Yes, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. It's been a while. Just like we have all said. Number one, I want to start from this our Igbo women and people's children, it is getting out of hand, and something needs to be done drastically.
I don't even know. Again, I say that what are you Igbo men doing? What are the Igbo men doing that you allow your wife to maltreat somebody's child like that and you're not saying anything? I'm sorry, but I cannot exonerate the men from this.
Precious, my mom, growing up, had a big restaurant. We had over 8 aides from the East in our house. I never saw my mom slap one day. They went to school, they were helping out, they did everything. We had neighbors too, who had kids and everything. Is it a Gen Z thing? I can't understand. And the painful thing is the hatred at which they beat these children. You would think, are they like,
no, you don't understand. You saw the ones that happened recently. You burn somebody's child, use razor blade, cut the body, put pepper in their body.
That one is good.
The very inhumane way they treat these people.
2 weeks ago, I don't know what the girl did. She laid the girl on the ground, sat on her, got a kitchen knife, and was cutting the girl.
Before her husband came and told her, yes, I saw that.
Thank you. God bless you.
I saw that.
Before
and the neighbor was recording.
The neighbor was recording.
No matter what that child did, usually
I will have beat the hell out of that woman if I'm the one with that phone. But somebody was recording, watching her mutilate a girl. It is that bad. I'm telling you, we need to have a total orientation, because I don't know where these women are getting this hatred from. Igbos used to be known to train people's children, but now we are getting stigmatized. And I won't blame other tribes, even though we have them few in other tribes, but it has come to the forelight. The Igbo women are always coming up. We need to do something. We need to talk to ourselves. I won't even blame them, because tradition has been relegated. Because in those days, if you try some of these things, you will be afraid of tradition. But today, there's no longer tradition. Secondly, I want to agree with Chief Francis Chilaka about that nincompoop man that calls himself a father of that Mara. How much did they pay you to be that shameless, speaking in front of camera without remorse of your child? Let's do DNA. That girl is not that man's child. I don't think so. And also, you see, Ogatiwai, I want to change my name to Obuagu, so that any day trouble starts, they should leave Lion of East for me. I will pieces him as Obuagu. I'm not calling anybody's name, but me, I want to be Obuagu now. So that when it happens, me, I will personally run after the Ago in the East and tear him to pieces.
The man is dangerous. The man is dangerous. He told you, I'm very dangerous now.
But I'm Obuagu now. Obuagu is more dangerous than the Ago, because I've been wearing the Ago right now. Where have we lost our morality and humanity? If I am Dave Umahi, I would rather shut up and allow my lawyers to talk than come on screen and be ranting or gaslighting also, telling us what to think about and telling us how to go about the situation.
How did he know that the girl had a bleeding nose that he called the boyfriend?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Was he there? Or it was in
You are
Abuja?
telling us how to think, how to go about it, and what to think about. A boyfriend. So you have also arranged somebody to say, I'm the boyfriend. How much more can you go before you are stopped in your tracks? This is the evidence of bad leadership. Madam Precious, we were talking about earlier on, people will resign. No, see, the society has been programmed in a way that you do, nobody will say anything. Before they start talking, quickly resign and run. Then you won't even have a small leverage to come out tomorrow to say, save your face. Other than when you are impeached in that office or something happens to the person in that office, you will not even be able to come out tomorrow to say anything. You saw the issue of Jefferson and Atiku. He's useless in America today. But we still have our grandpa running everywhere, wants to become the president of Nigeria. We need to do better. And I keep on saying, tribalism, bigotry is already on the front burner because election is here again. But we, the people that are suffering, that are buying this gas, that are doing everything commonly possible, are still buying into tribalism and bigotry. How else can we save this country? We're talking about standing up during the election, just like Dr. Carter have said. Election will be ended at the booth. We are not going to any court to count anything. Whatever we vote, count, announce is where the election will be over. But we still have gullible Nigerians. OBI is that. OBI. Today I was listening to a TikTok by some Yoruba people. They were on TikTok reeling out what OBI did and what TINUBU did. I couldn't believe it. They were all Yorubas. They were on TikTok. They brought themselves up and they were talking. Obi won $1 million Belinda and Melinda Gates grant for education. He put it back into health. Obi did. They were reeling out all kinds of things. But please, our grandfather that built Lagos, come and build Nigeria, we are in trouble. And they are still going about it with all, let me not lie to us. All this door-to-door campaign, this and that is corruption fighting back, because that is their pot of soup. If they know that once somebody that can stop corruption comes in, all those things will cease.
Okay,
how can we have a navy? Lastly, sorry, how can we have a navy and an individual is guiding our common patrimony? I once lived in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia don't even have anybody patrolling the pipeline. They have everything on camera. They see you. If a fly moves into one pipe, they can see you. May God save us from analog government.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mr. Ken. Who do we have next, please? Hello. Please go ahead very quickly before Mr.
Precious, please, so do not hurry me, please.
I go hurry you. I close by 12 o'clock. I go bite you. Don't just start with me.
Please,
Just start with me.
Don't hurry me, please. Okay, let me put a question to you first of all. Did any one of you or in Nigeria, do you guys spend up to 2 million naira a day?
In a day?
Yeah.
No, except I'm doing a major transaction now, a major
activity. No. Sorry. Okay, let me rephrase the question. Like 2 million naira for household use to eat food, look after the household, domestic.
In a day? No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, very good. And so before I continue, I say the politicians in Nigeria, I think you guys need to take them to psychiatric.
What's happened to them?
They need to be examined. Do you know why? Why did I say that? Because if you look at them coming out to say someone stole billions, these are billions you do not need. The things you keep stealing, things you do not need.
I have a problem with that mentality. See, that's why I asked Mr. Chilaka that question. I asked him that. How did we make governance and politics so juicy? That how is it that we don't hold them accountable and begin to question their source of wealth? Because how can somebody be a nobody and automatically once a person becomes a politician or a good ally to a politician, you just begin to make money and you buy cars and you buy houses and your life is good and nobody asks questions?
Okay. You see, why am I saying this now? What you don't need, you keep accumulating, you take them, you keep them to yourself. So if let's assume you're spending that 2 million in a day now, in a year it amounts to 730 million. So let's times that 730 million in the number of maybe you're to leave or whatever. It's not even about to the billions these people steal. You understand? They will still use it. They will still be left over. It's like you're taking what you do not need, what belongs to the people, what is meant for you to look after the people. One person will gather it and he will sit on it. If that is not madness, if that is not madness or witchcraft, I don't know what else to call it. You understand? If that is not wickedness or witchcraft, but I don't know what to call it anymore. Because that is why I'm saying that maybe they need to gather these people, take them to a psychiatric, let them get their brain examined. Because we need to start examining, let's start examining their brains. Let's see if there's something wrong somewhere. If Nigerians can do something about it. That's one question on the other side. As for the man that comes out that says that, for him even making that statement alone, that said he lost his daughter or whatever, for him even making that statement alone, the police were supposed to have arrested him. They were supposed to have arrested him. They shouldn't allow that man walk free. Maybe there's something that man knows which he's not saying. That's part. I will call that obstruction of justice. In short, the man, even the way things are now, if that country is a country that functions properly, that man do not even have the right to come out to even be talking as a granting press conference. So that is why sometimes I keep asking, is Nigeria okay? What is really going on with the people? So it's like we do not know the right for wrong. We don't know the right from wrong anymore. What the fuck is going on? Now, look at the same person that they found something wrong in your house. If it's in a sane society, it's a society that functions, first of all, it will be suspended. Then investigation will be, he's not even allowed to even come out on the public to even speak. It's supposed to be he will be in an interrogation room. They will be asking him questions. It's Nigeria now, they can get away with anything. No question asked, because he's sitting in the seat of power.
MC, no vex. You dey blame Umahi. He's working for somebody.
It's both of them, all of them, both the
He's
government and
working
all
for
of
somebody.
them.
The person where they work for, the people who are supposed to dismiss, dismiss. Not being the same person, I go nominate a professor where they say there are 2 cases of rape against him, sexual assault against him, and your Senate president Oshomole stood up to say no, there's something about you, and they shut him down, and they want to approve the person. Well, so you can see that there's no. You don't get more. There's no morality. There's no ethics. In fact, now the criminals now they appoint.
That's why I keep saying that. It's like the good people in the country are the ones allowing this thing to fly. These are things that it happens in other places. The way the country will be upside down by now. The country will be will be upside down by now. Okay, now let's go further again to the other woman you guys were saying, the Igbo, whatever. You understand? There is no way you should abuse a child, or you should do evil to children or someone that is coming to live with you. If you know you cannot look after them, do not involve yourself. Because children are precious gifts. These are children we are made to raise with care for them, raise them, direct them on the right path to go. Not the evil we see that we hear every day from those countries. If you know you are not capable of looking after children, don't involve yourself on it. Stay away from it. And these things happen. That's why sometimes I keep asking, where are the Nigerian government in all of this? Where are the people that are supposed to look after these people, protect these children? Where are they? Where are they? This thing is like, it's becoming normal. We hear it after 1 day, 2 days, you hear another one again, and everybody is keeping quiet. Everybody is allowing it to fly. Okay, should I go and be blaming those people now? What about the government that is supposed to create enable environment for these people to thrive, for these children to grow up properly and live life well? Where are the government that is supposed to do that? No, nowhere to be found. So then the people, anybody that comes out to say we managed to say, okay, this person should come and stay with or whatever, then they start abusing those children. And these children are unable to cry out. Eh? These are things you would do in other country. You'll go and be rest. Before they will even talk about your case, you will be cooling off somewhere. But in Nigeria, you allow these people to continue to work freely, and the evil continue to grow every day. The good people of that country need to stand up and start speaking out. They need to start speaking out. That's what I'm saying. Again, I will repeat it again. That man that came out to say they should give this, they should do this. That man, the police need to pick that man up because that man needs to be arrested. We are talking about life here. These are life. This is a precious gift from God. Every day, these people, Nigerians, keep abusing it. What? I'll hit the mic. That's all I will say for now. Let me hit the mic.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mr. Edwin, welcome, sir.
Precious, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, TY. Precious, you know, I've always asked whenever I came on board here, or whenever I come on board here, about what governance structure or type we practice in
Edwin,
Nigeria.
Mr. Edwin, please, sorry, just help me hold this thought here. And I need to respond to Yomites on the message he said. I've seen what he said. While we praise President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we said it's President Tinubu that has given governors money and perhaps giving Uti money to thrive. It is not President Tinubu's money. It is Nigeria's fund. And you said that under Tinubu, under Buhari, 27 states were bankrupt, 96% of our, 96.something%, don't forget, of our revenue was used to service debt. I totally agree with you. Let's start with the bankruptcy. I blame every state. No state in Nigeria has any reason to say they're bankrupt. No state. Because every state has natural resources. No state in Nigeria has less than one natural resources. And even with the ones without natural resources, we have countries without natural resources that are thriving. Every state governor that goes bankrupt is empty in the head because you have the right to create wealth within your government or within your state. Let's leave that. So I blame you. You're right. I blame the governors for that. But then let's go straight to the funds in terms of paying debts. Under Buhari, I agree with you. 96% of our 96% of our money was used to clear debts. That's very correct. But how much was our total debt at that time? The same debt that Tinubu administration has doubled. How much was even our total revenue? Did you know that from when Tinubu entered government, I can tell you, the taxes increased in different areas subtly without being mentioned? I don't want to talk about electricity. Before now, I didn't used to pay tax in electricity. Do you know that they added taxes gradually on almost everything? Without you knowing, without making noise about it. Even before passing this tax bill, this present administration is making much, much more money than any administration. Waiting be the result of the money. It is our money. It is not his money. So please don't make it look like no, it is the people's money. People are paying. You go to supermarkets, you go to restaurants now to pay, including makeup artists. The other day, I contracted a makeup artist for an event, and she's telling me that whatever I pay you, you pay me, you would have to give me 7.5% of VAT separately because I must pay VAT. That was never the case. So almost every parastatal, almost everybody now, small businesses now are paying taxes under this administration. You go to the restaurant to eat now. Once they give you your bill, you see deduction of taxes from it. Today, I have evidence, I'm telling you. I buy light bill now. They show me how much of my light. If I buy 50,000 naira worth of lights, what they give me is just 40-something thousand naira worth. They remove the other worth for tax. I can show you receipt of my light bill. That was never there during Buhari's administration. So I don't get exact 50,000 naira worth of lights. Please, anybody who buys light should tell me. I have my receipts. So please, let's stop gaslighting each other. Why will Lord and hail President Tinubu for, creating revenue? What will they carry the revenue do? He's created more wealth because there's more revenue now. And that's why he's having more money to give the governors. So what are we doing with the revenue? Okay, let's believe that the governors are foolish, that they're not having, unquote, please unquote me, that they don't have any business, or that they're not creative enough to use the monies that the president has given to them. to better the lives of their people. The quota where the federal government they take in Kuwaiti, they don't use their own quota do. The federal government takes more from that allocation. If you look at the way they share the revenue from what's in the column, the FAC accounts, the federal government takes the largest chunk. What's in the federal government they do with their own? Have we seen improvements in education system? How many hospitals, federal hospitals in Nigeria, have we seen infrastructure, development, equipment? How many of them? The ambulances that you bought over 1,000 for renewed hope for election, if you give just 774 of those across all local governments in Nigeria, most people would not die today. How have you equipped hospitals? How have you bettered the lives of the ordinary people? How many federal schools have been renovated and doing well with the money? Yes, it's good to blame the governors. Oh, they are not, but the buck is on the governors. They're not doing well. They want the quarter away the federal government they share. What they don't do with the money? So please stop gaslighting us with all of those issues. And hey, let me even tell you, including the quarter you give to the president, was it not here that Laura analyzed to us? That money is equivalent to what people were receiving during Obasanjo's regime. You pay them 50 billion now. You think you've paid them so much money per, assuming you give one person 50 billion in a month. You haven't given them much money because it's almost about the same thing, the same value of what he would have done during Obasanjo's regime. Because of the same inflation that you have caused.
Yeah.
And you're hailing him. If the money I have today can do the same thing it can do, if money I get monthly today can do the same thing it can do during Obasanjo's regime, what do you expect me to do extra? And you're coming here to gaslight Nigerians. Please, let's just hold it. Yes, I hail him for increasing our revenue. But the same revenue we're increasing. Then why are we borrowing so much? The president came out to tell us in August that we've met our targets. Non-oil, with non-oil, as at August last year. And we're still borrowing so much. What are we doing with the borrowing? What are we doing with the borrowing? How do you throw us in so much debt? And you're telling us that our revenue has increased and we're not, because see, the reason why we're not using up to 96% of our income to pay the service debt anymore, it's why? Because the revenue don't increase. It should have even been better if not that he has also borrowed more. It should have been better. So when you have increased revenue and then you're also borrowing to service some of these debts, why would you not reduce the percentage of the of your monthly servicing of debts? Is it not the same thing that we talked about when Wale June was here? When he was saying that by the time you remove money to service debt, remove this, remove that, you cannot do some of the projects. You cannot fund some part of the budget. Oh, please, cut me some slack. Give me a break. I'll go ahead, Mr. Edwin, very quickly while we close up. I just thought to quickly throw on that. So stop gaslighting Nigerians with these things that you people say. Oh, we hail him, he's done well. Where the money day? How has it benefited the poor masses? Yes. How has it? Is it not the same economy that Mukhtar Mohammed explained to us, that is just for the rich? You're not attracting foreign direct investment because nobody trusts your system enough to come and invest money. People only come here for flash investments. They come here, put in small money, make profit, fear and run out. The kind of profit they know they cannot make in their country. That's what they come here to do with our money and go. How does that benefit us? If I know that if I put in $1 million investment in Nigeria and I get an equivalent of 1.3 million in the next 6 months, why would I go and put that money in the US? I will quickly collect 1.6 million run. People are not even keeping their investment. They're not even staying. How many companies are folded up under this administration? How many has come in? Please show me the great companies that are coming into under this administration compared to the number that left. These are the people who create the real jobs, and that's how it will filter in and trickle down to the people. They're not coming in. People who come in are portfolio investors who come to make quick money under us and leave.
And then take off. Yeah.
I better go ahead, Jerry. No vex, sir.
Yeah, Precious. No. All that I wanted to say are the things you've just spoken about now. You've analyzed everything. I couldn't have said it better. But one thing, there are certain issues I just wanted to talk about briefly. You know what, I have kept asking if we are practicing democracy. We aren't. And if you are not practicing democracy, how will the dividends of what is democracy trickle down to the people? It's just civilian administration, nothing democratic here. Democracy can only be enforced or practiced when the template for it is laid out clearly. And what is the template? The template is the constitution. We don't have a constitution. And that is exactly where perhaps GY saw my postings, because I kept repeating it. If we don't revisit this constitution, because the constitution is meant for a federated unit. Federation, they say Federal Republic of Nigeria. What is federal about Nigeria? Now, in the US, if Trump were to have his way, if not for the constitution laid down, that is in the hierarchy of governance, the federal units, they have their own things to implement. States are all independent. For instance, Trump cannot just walk into the state of California now, or South Carolina, North Georgia, or anyone, and just do whatever he likes. No, the state governor has the right to do what he wants there, because they are practicing true federalism. A state as rich as Texas now cannot go and shoulder the burden of a poor state like Mississippi or Louisiana. They don't do it that way. In Nigeria, what is happening? You get all the resources from Delta State, from rivers, maybe an Akwa Ibom. Then you go and check allocation. Well, look, until we visit that constitution, if we don't revisit that constitution, and every Nigerian participates in the drafting of that constitution, Nigeria is not going to work, and it won't work. There is nobody, at least I am learning enough to know that there is, you can't put something on nothing and expect something out of it. It's not going to work. Now let me take you to the case of this Abia governor, Dr. Alex Oti. He hasn't gotten any godfather. Nobody put him there. Nobody sponsored. It was the people. He is not making returns to anybody. And before he came in, that man contested about 2-3 times. He had a template, a blueprint, what he was going to do for his people. He knew their needs, what they wanted, and he has just gotten straight implementing them. And that is what somebody like Obi is. So let us not say, oh, Alex Oti can do. The man is just strictly implementing what he wanted to do, irrespective of what the godfathers would have imposed on him. Do you know how much each of these House of Assembly members, even councillors, I have many of them, my relatives and friends, how much they spend in getting elected? If they tell you, some of them are already indebted to the 2, 3, 4 times, whatever it is.
Have you not heard somebody have said that if you bring, these days now, they don't even collect your land again as collateral set for banks, because we don't know what will happen to your land. But we hear that these days, according to somebody, people have said that if they know you're vying for a position and you're in a party that they think that's strong, banks will be more willing to give you loan.
Exactly.
Have you seen a thing like that?
So that is
where
what is happening.
Becomes a more viable business.
A more
business.
And you know, I once advocated that every one of them, particularly the legislative arm, they should be placed on part-time and on that kind of part-time. You just go there, you do your part, and let us not implement in total what exactly the American federalism has to offer, because we are a different entity. We are a different set of people, humans. And then to top it all, Nigerians are very passive, docile people. They don't do anything. You understand me? That was why I kept saying the Stockholm syndrome is there. Nothing happens in Nigeria. Or if Nigeria were to be a setup where the true federalism, that is the constitution, is implemented, I cannot just walk into any state and do anything. I cannot just walk into, look at federal agencies, and then it's just jobs for the boys. They loot. I have several of these friends. They just loot. Somebody comes into the political arena, and within a year, he owns a house in London here, which I know. And who is he back in Nigeria? So when you look at these states, and I see them, we see them. So when and the Nigerian society, the way we tend to glorify those whose sources of wealth we do not know, you know, we just glorify them. It is through the system has been so corrupted by the fact that you see nothing that doesn't happen or exist in Nigeria. Nothing. So if we don't go back to that route and fix it, the constitution, if for instance data, we have the governor, we can walk into the governor's office, assembly members can be held accountable. There is no accountability whatsoever. Today we are chatting about what has been recovered from Malami, our former Attorney General. Can you imagine what could be recovered from Wike if he's out of government, or if he were not obeying the good books of TINUBU? Let us just look at all the rest. If just Malami alone could have all those things that were recovered from him, then just look that through.
Thank you,
the nook and cranny of Nigeria. Do you know what could be recovered from Akpabio? Then we were talking about governors in Lagos State and rest. None of them were free. They were not. They were just walking. They were all at the beck and call of TINUBU. TINUBU is still the executive governor of Lagos State till tomorrow. And then on top of it all, you have a set of criminals, cabal at the helm of affairs. How do you think good governance will trickle down to those that are subordinates? Then look at the master. Who is your president? Who is the vice? Who is the Senate president? Look at all of them. These are criminals. You know, barefaced robbers. They're looting the treasury dry. This morning, I'm that kind of person. I hardly shed tears for anything whatsoever. I almost shed tears when I saw this my friend, Rufai Oseni, almost in tears. You know, I once told you that Gowon volunteered to pay the salaries of all these Caribbean countries. You know, when I was giving people this, you thought I was just making up. So no, he did. And like what Rufai said, Nigeria once loaned out money to the World Bank, IMF, in the 70s here. Not that we were told, I witnessed it. Then, as I was 72, I know how old I was then. We witnessed all these things. We saw what was happening. So let us not just keep talking about the Nigerian leaders. Those will we have at the helm of affairs. They are the ones that have destroyed the Nigerian state. It's not just like what you said. Every state will all have resources. So if we are practicing federalism, every state, you will have to go back home to the drawing board and source for resources internally yourself. Then states like Kano and the rest, who wouldn't want to have anything to do with alcohol, yet they can share money from the federation account based on proceeds from states that tolerate consumption of alcohol and the rest and whatever it is. So not until we go back there, nothing is going to change in Nigeria. We can keep talking and providing solutions, and it will still come to the north.
Thank you.
Not until we go and say and look at that constitution. The constitution is the bane of our development.
Mr. Edwin, you know, every time you keep saying this, so what we go do now? How do you drive Nigerians to go and look at the constitution? How you drive them to go and look at it?
No, it is when the populace, it is when the Nigerian, when
everybody has stated that before, including the politicians themselves have stated that our problem is our constitution. So
it is the constitution.
We all know that. So you talking about it is as if you're regurgitating something that everybody already knows. Do you understand? You said it several times, and of course, all of us, nobody has argued with you that is the truth. But yes, you know, saying it every time is like sounding like a broken record. What do we do next?
Let me tell you one thing.
The question is, what is the action plan?
The action plan rests squarely within the Nigerian youth. Somebody like me, I enjoy the best from Nigeria, education, everything, and I'm proud of that. But you know, I kept swearing and cursing those who are of my age right now, those who are in their 60s, 60 and above, those who really enjoyed Nigeria. And they are the ones, majority of them are the ones at the helm of affairs today. If you can tolerate somebody like Akpabio, you know how much Akpabio stole from Akwa Ibom State? My wife is from Akwa Ibom State. You know how much that man took from Akwa Ibom State? And you know he was being pursued.
I thought he was
by the EFCC before he jumped. Forget it. That man is one of the worst criminals that Nigeria has ever produced as a politician. But people don't know. Today is the Senate president. So look, until the youth, those youths in Sri Lanka, in those countries, those Asian countries that chased away their president, prime ministers from their offices and took control of their country. Not only the Nigerian youth do that, we will keep going around in circles.
Thank you.
And if
Thank
they
you.
do that, then they will be able to hold those at the National Assembly to rewrite that constitution. And then those that the worst culprit are our northern brothers, the core northern brothers and sisters. Those people have kept mute over the Nigerian state in the last decades. They've never contributed anything whatsoever. That is, I'm talking about the political restructuring of Nigeria. All they are interested in is they want their man in power. So if you are not, if you don't belong to their religion or whatever it is, they don't entrust you with power. Like what I've often asked, how many of these people have come out en masse in support of Peter Obi? None of them. They've never done it, and they won't do it. And when I keep hammering on this, people think I'm not serious. I am very serious. So that constitution will address that. If we don't do that, nothing is going to change in Nigeria.
Thank you.
I can bet you.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thank
Precious.
you so
Thank
much.
you very
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. All right. Anyone has a parting shot very quickly before we wrap up?
Yeah, Precious.
Very
I just want to
quickly,
draw. I want to draw something quickly. Yeah, if anybody, maybe for Nigerians, they can go to Google or Chat GTP or whatever. Go check any of these sites. Check from back go back to in history and check who is the best governor in Nigeria that has ever governed that state. You see all this platform, they will tell you it's Peter Obi. In every category of what he has done in that state is the best. That is what those platforms will give you. They will never bring any of these other people that has done these damages to Nigeria. It's all there. So it's not we don't even need to ask these questions anymore. Every platform now, they will tell you the best governor. So that is why sometimes when I see those people, come to say, it's not this or it's not that, it's this, is that. I pity them and I laugh. Maybe I feel that maybe they're ignorance. They don't know what you're talking about. We cannot continue to allow these people again to continue to damage the country, destroy the reputation of the country. Precious, I said to you the other day, I said, be patient. You could see the world is awakening now. Everybody knows about Nigeria now. Nigeria is now on everybody's tongue all over the world now. America, EU. I tell you, I said I was going to send you some links that I tell you because we know what is going on here. The way we see everything here, we see everything. Everything that goes on. When one pin dropped down on that Nigeria, we already know yeah. So it's already on because the current administration, there is no escape route for them. There is no escape route from them.
Thank you.
I only pity them. It's all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other person with a parting shot very quickly? See why Danjuma? You want to give us validation? No, you're our Reverend Father. Yeah, our pastor.
No, I think everything that has been said here is good. You know, the point is that Nigerians, some of us don't want to see the facts as they are because some of the things we say here are colored by ethnic sentiments and religious provincialism.
It would be hard for us to be Nigerians, really.
Yes. So you can give, if you go and give a monkey trillions of naira for development, you no go use them because you no get the intellectual capability to be able to know that it's even money or to manage it. If you give them banana or give them kuli, you can understand it because that's the only level where if you understand. But it cannot rise to the ability to know that you can manage what you can use money to do and, translate that into palpable materiality that will lead to better people's lives. So when people say, oh, they give this state government social amount, they give, state governments have been having money. What have they done? That's the question. So it's not about who gives. It's about what you do with the money. And that's the situation that we have with the federal government. They have had, if you look now, the inflows, the money is where like you said, where the federal government don't get in the past 3 years, have been enormous. Where do they get the money? Where did they steal? The houses where did they buy? The corruption, all these things where they see. Is the government this thing? What is running now is you go and borrow loan, you go and take loan, and then you go and look for fictitious, fake agencies that are moribund, that are not being, you put money there, and what you're supposed to, and you give it a name, give it a unit head, and then the money that is meant for that voted for that particular head, you go and use it. If it's to do something in Sokoto, you go and use it in you claim you use it in Lagos. You know, so those are the things that have been happening. By the time you look at some of those agencies, you see the thing all over the place. Like we saw in Ibadan, like we saw in Almaji. You mentioned them yesterday, Almaji, all the cultural this thing in Ibadan, and so many other places. You see those things. That is what they're doing. And the Senate is there, their oversight functions are there. They know they do, and they collect money. They put, what are they doing? So these are bandits. And until we kick them out, and the only way is to take your vote, go and vote. If this thing is working for you, you like what is happening, good luck to you. You know, enjoy them. But if it's not working for you, go and vote. Go and vote. That is, at least that is the least thing that you can do if you are concerned with what is happening in the country. And that is the truth. Look at what the World Bank have just said. Look at what the IMF is saying, you know, about the country. So it's serious. The problem is that even the little money that is coming, if you cannot manage, if you can't manage big money, you cannot manage small money. Your monies are leaking. They are leaking. And like Ken said, you have the Navy, you have the military, you have all the security agencies, but you are going to go and hire somebody, an individual, where you pay money, make it, they watch your pipelines and make it. So why are you paying people in the Navy? Why are you paying those agencies? The NS, whatever. Why are you paying them? What's their responsibility?
That was why I said about federalism. When I keep talking about, like in Texas, Texas, you know, they have oil wells. When I was in the NLPC, I attended several trainings there. Federal authorities don't come there to go and guide all the oil facilities in Texas. They don't do that. So, for instance, the oil wells in Delta, in Rivers, Akwa Ibom, by the time by the time every state has their own mix of resources to be able, they know how to guide. But look, the more I talk about Nigeria, I get so angry because we cannot do things upside down, and we're expecting positive results. Our talking alone won't solve anything. No, it's either a revolution by the youth or something, because you can't expect old people to go and carry out like when Nigeria was shut down during Jonathan's time. It was led by a group of people. Now those ones, their times are all gone now. There are the younger ones who have taken about. Where are they today? So not until they will take the bull by the horns, nothing will change in Nigeria. Nothing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ken. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hello. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you know, just a quick one before we go. You know, sorry. You see, the executive do not trust its military. It do not trust its navy. That is why the executive can never send its navy to go guide those pipelines. Instead, in the very first place, instead of even sending the navy, there are cameras, there are CCTV cameras you can install that can monitor these things. There are drones, there are. The country, they don't know what they are doing. These people that are there, they don't bloody care.
They know what to do. They loot, they share the money. Let me tell you, the president has a secret account. Let me just tell you something secret that most of you don't know. Proceeds from those of them, the cabal, the presidency, there are special accounts, dedicated accounts, where this dollar money go into every day. Okay. If you do not know, let me just give you that secret. So they are aware.
And again,
the president is among the cabal. They are all cabals, all of them. If you try it, what will happen to you? You won't believe your eyes. The Navy, why do you think all the military personnel, the security agencies, is a fight to be posted to the Niger Delta?
Okay.
People don't know.
So they don't
if
trust
you are
themselves.
To the Niger Delta for 1 year, and you don't erect mansions or buy a house in London or Texas, then you don't know what you are doing. That is the Nigerian. That is the Nigerian mindset. That is the mindset of the security agencies. Those are the MFIs in Aso Rock. They know. All of them, they are hand in gloves. They connive and are looting Nigeria dry. Not that the Navy can handle it. Not that the military can handle it. Even the police can handle it. They are aware.
Oh yeah, it's enough. Now, not to close church, you don't do.
Yeah, let us look.
And even Erofai that told Nigeria, Erofai told Nigeria that 1 billion keep leaving the federation account. Till today, Nigerians are not asking questions. He said 1 billion leave the federal account every month. And nobody is asking questions. Nobody is pursuing these people. You know, that's why I say, well, I'm just praying for these people to wake up, honestly. I'm just praying for them to wake up.
2027 will come and we'll be looking. And you know, I said it the other time, everybody went against me. No, you are too pessimistic. You are too... Look, it's only Peter Obi that I'm just worried about. I don't just know how because I think we should have our brain
nobody will touch him. Nothing will come to him.
We should have our brain examined. If we have somebody like Peter Obi, and we are even debating between Peter Obi and Tinubu, there is something wrong. Something is wrong.
Thank you. So, Yomi, you said Nigeria woes cannot be resolved overnight. There is a visible sign of economic development, and President Tinubu should be applauded for it. And that economic development, we cannot see the sign until it touches the poor man. Yomi, come back to Nigeria. Come and follow me and stay. Do you know how much I spend daily? Do you know the things I have to put in place just because I have to do this thing? I don't like to talk about my sacrifices or my benevolences. Do you know how many people I have to help? I have never in my entire life helped people, Nigerians, like I have helped them under President Bola Tinubu's administration.
Exactly, you are right.
This is the administration that I've had cause to help more people than any other.
Every day you
thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that, please, it is the work of God. He has not done half of what he should do to better the lives of people. He said, don't pity for me. Now, what's in talk? He said, don't pity for me and ask for this. So you cannot tell me that somebody said, don't pity for me. Then I should be praising him for
Precious, yesterday I off my phone throughout.
I need to see you face. Chat me up, make I see you face to face.
Yesterday,
you follow talk. I know that we have affiliations, but me, I am all for what will benefit everybody. Do you know what I go through personally? Do you know people who have health issues that are unable to treat themselves? Do you know people I help with medication? People that ordinary BP drug, they make them die. BP. Meanwhile, now this same Obasanjo way don't live over 40-something or 50-something years. He said since 45, he's had diabetes. But people just get diabetes now and die anyhow because they cannot afford medication. What are you talking about? These are things that where government can come in. No, now. Please.
But everything rests squarely.
If our country does not have the resources, it would have been different. We have the resources in abundance, but it settles among only the particular set of people enjoy it the most.
But what are Nigerians doing? What are Nigerians doing? What are Nigerians doing? We look. It's just a question of who will bear the cat. What are Nigerians doing? What is the reaction of Nigerians?
Thank you so much,
we just sit down there. We are talking and talking. Nigerians are too passive, too docile. They don't react to anything. Nobody has. There have been no 1 million man march to the National Assembly. Lock up the place.
Thank you, Mr. Edwin. Thank you. They don't call me Pastor Precious self. Thank you. Make I take that.
Yeah, Precious. Good night.
Feel like that one will help restore my mental health this night. Thank you. Thank you, T.Y. Danjuma. Thank you, everyone who's contributed on the show. You know, it's always a pleasure to have us discuss the way forward in our country. And I do hope that way forward comes soon. I love you guys and I appreciate you. And for all those that we argue, disagree to agree, you know, it's all for the love of the country, right? So we're here. Anything that would better our country. Count me in. Count me in. Anything that makes this country better is where I belong to. And that's just what I want. Just like some people will say, I look forward to a country where a child of nobody becomes somebody. I struggle a lot today because perhaps I'm a daughter of nobody. The kind of struggle I go through, I shouldn't go through it if I was in a sane country. And that is why I want this country to be better. So that the unborn generation who will be daughter and children of nobody can at least have a leeway to succeeding because there's a Nigeria that there is equality. We not say equality no go feed the final to that level, but make it just makes more sense more. I beg. Now what would they beg? Where people go fit afford normal small medication. Go fit afford education, quality education. Go fit afford food. Go fit afford shelter, lights, all those small things so they make life move forward. Basic necessities of life. That's all we ask for. Nigerians are very easy to govern. They're not very difficult. Then they're very easy to govern. Just give them small thing now. They don't sing your praises. Now those small things now we want. I beg with a beg. And to everyone who has access to this government, tell them our cries. We just want things to get better for the poor man. We want businesses to move forward. Most businesses are folded. People go and ask people doing businesses. If they tell you what they're going through, you cry for them. Please now, let things get better. I love you guys and I appreciate you. Please like and share this post if you've not done so already. Please kindly like and share. Follow us like a village people, I beg. Let's continue to spread the gospel on how to get our country better. Till tomorrow evening when I see you again, protect your mental health as usual, like I like to say. I love you guys. Good night and God bless you.